the day he
Aside of
hops
that.
in a vehicle with no self-driving.
Yeah, I can't do this.
Well, I remember
self-driving.
last year I got an Uber when I was down here, and the guy was like, "Check this out! It like drives itself. He's got a Tesla, blah blah." And sure shit, turned it on, and then 30 seconds later, it quit working on him. And he had like grabbed the wheel back. I'm like, exactly, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be cruising down. It's gonna pop off. You're not gonna realize it.
Don't trust it.
Like mid-driving, he was driving and it just quit?
It just quit on him. Yeah.
Does it give you like a warning of any kind? A bell go off?
I mean, I guess you realize
He was
it when
pretty
you fly
proud
in
of
the
that
other
thing
lane.
for like he kept talking it up, and then all of a sudden it quit working. I was like, oh, awesome.
That might be one of my least favorite things is grabbing an Uber and they have a Tesla. And they're like, do you want to see all the cool shit it does?
No,
Like,
I do not.
Yeah, you're like, I just want to
get me
get
where
from
I'm
A to
going.
B.
How many Uber drivers are driving Teslas?
A lot.
All of them.
What?
A
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
Teslas
around
aren't
here.
expensive. The base model Tesla is not expensive. It's a very like
$45,000 car, I think, something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't Uber all that often, but when you Uber, when you leave, you leave feedback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, if somebody picks you up in like a shitty car, like an old shitty car, you leave them bad feedback?
You can't. I mean, not you
You
can't leave
can't?
bad feedback, but you can't drive an old shitty car on Uber.
You can't?
No, I think it's
No, they
like
have like
18 or
certain
newer or
like
something.
year requirements and things like
Really?
that with Uber.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. You have to have a certain.
All I know is when I get an Uber, I always just hit the don't talk to me button.
I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah. I just hit the don't
There
talk.
is?
Yeah, there is. You like talking to people.
No,
though, man.
I'd push that thing all day
Yeah.
long.
Every time, just don't talk to me button.
Oh.
How many? Do you think they're leasing their vehicles?
Yeah.
They just lease a car and
Probably,
then drive.
yeah.
I
drive
think they
Uber?
just get a car and love it, so they're like, I'm going to Uber. That's what they do. They get the car to Uber. Have the nice
Show it
car
off.
for Uber.
They don't,
There's
have many, they don't have many friends. They got to show it off to
Yeah,
everyone
right.
else that they're picking up.
Might be a little business model and they'll lease it to then Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad idea. I'll have to look into the numbers.
Crunch those, will you? Is Lyft even a thing anymore?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, right.
everything
People
except
still
Uber,
drive
Lyft
Lyft?
pickups. I never
Oh, you
used
got
Lyft,
both?
but
Yeah.
Uber only.
Uber only.
Are we live?
I don't probably live.
We are
Wow.
live.
The timer's not going.
Sponsored by Uber.
Yeah, sponsored by.
Uber. Uber. When you're in the Vegas metropolitan area, get yourself an Uber.
It's a lot better than taxis.
Does Vegas have taxis?
Well, Uber was shut down in, what was that fight, Cody? Like 3 years? Uber wasn't allowed in Vegas. Like Uber was blowing up. It was a huge thing, right? Everyone was talking about it. But the taxi conglomerate here in Vegas, Mafia, basically had it shut down.
The taxi mafia.
So we, like, being a resident in Nevada, you didn't have an option. You had to take a taxi. You weren't allowed. Like Uber didn't work here.
Are the prices similar?
I don't know. I
I
can't
always
tell you.
thought taxis were expensive.
I think Ubers are cheaper, right?
I don't know. All I know is the taxi mafia had it on lockdown for quite a few years. So it was your only option.
I have so many more questions.
all the strip club marketing in the back and on the top. And
All the
it's
things
like-
I've never thought about. You start thinking about it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't have. Do you have an Uber? You have an Uber app on your phone?
Yeah, I do,
Of course
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Of course I do.
I have a 5-star rating, by the way, and I'm very proud of it. Still this day, 5-star. What's yours?
I don't have one. I don't have the Uber app. Why would I
Mine's-
Uber anywhere?
Never when you go to hunting shows, you never have the Uber?
Just walk.
he always just let someone else get the Uber for him.
That's
oh,
it.
I don't have the app.
That's
guys,
usually
I'm
what I do with
sorry.
Brady. I'm like,
Yeah.
Brady, you got the app.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
I do not have 5 stars.
No,
I won't get into why I don't have 5 stars, but I
Because you
don't
won't
have
talk
5
to
stars.
anybody.
That could
Do you
possibly-
know why you don't have 5 stars?
Yes.
Tell me. I gotta know.
No, I mean,
it's my fault streaking.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, mine. It's not family oriented. We'll put it that way.
Nice.
It's not like my kids. It's not like my kids were shitheads, but maybe I have a few friends that act worse than my kids.
Right. Just so you know, the unknown is way worse than the known in my mind. I'm thinking of all the best scenarios. Yeah. That's great. Anyway, we'll let Brady run.
Let's do it. I don't know how we get to talking about Ubers, but
These
I
are my
don't.
these are my
I don't
favorite
know
conversations.
Oh, self-driving. That's how we got onto
yeah,
it.
self-driving.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
No.
I don't believe in electric cars. I don't believe in self-driving.
Un-American.
Yeah, it's way un-American.
I don't know. I'm in favor of self-driving. I think if it could get to a point where it felt real good, real solid, think how great that'd be.
Think they'll ever be able to self-drive in the mountains?
I don't care
Go up a
about
trailhead?
that, but like in the morning, I could jump on the freeway at 6 a.m. and just put it in auto drive and just work the whole way.
You would
This-
trust that?
The thing isn't
If it
about
worked.
that. It's not about the auto drive as much as everyone around you. It's like
Yeah.
when planes have autopilot, no one really worries about that, but there's no one else to run into you that's not auto driving or
I would
some
bet.
kid or
I would bet that probably if the technology works like it's supposed to, which that's a big caveat, right? Is if it works like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Probably the reaction time to somebody else, potentially like T-boning you or running into you, the reaction time is probably better on self-driving than it is my own reactions.
I think it is. Honestly.
I would bet it is.
Like,
Especially
I
with
think,
the cameras that
yeah,
go
I think
all the way
statistically it actually
I guarantee you, I'd go through way less brake pads if it was automatic.
But it'd also be driving the speed limit.
Which today I did a little social clip on the way down here.
is. While you were driving?
Yeah, while I was driving.
Perfect.
Self-driving.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And my 4Runner.
yeah.
But as I was listening to it back to just see if I hit the things that Omar had asked me to hit, I was like, my hell, this is so loud. And then I was thinking, man, there's so much shake in my vehicle right now. Like I need an alignment, you know what I mean? And then I was thinking about brake pads, and this will probably be like the third or fourth set of brake pads I've had in that. It's
You
like
just daydreaming and then slamming on the brakes?
I just think I don't have very good depth perception, is what it is. So
Just sneaks up on you
Yeah,
back.
especially at night, I lock them up. Yeah, I lock them up. Anyway, we have guests.
We do have guests over here. So, yes, sitting across over there, we got Wilson and Lindsey Pike.
Mm-hmm.
We randomly, our friendship started quite a while ago at Total Archery Challenge. Remember that day, Trail?
Yeah, it was a big sky.
Yeah, we were shooting and they were right behind us. They probably wanted to shoot through because we're slow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who won that day? Do you remember? I can't remember. Me, you, Neville.
it was,
Seems like it was me.
I think it was you.
I would bet
It
Trail.
wasn't, no, it might have been Neville that day.
That was me. That's probably the last time I ever beat Neville.
Roll the tape. We got to figure that out. We were keeping score.
I won.
But they were shooting right behind us and then they ended up shooting with us.
Yeah,
They were that slow?
they were that slow.
Really?
Yeah.
we're pretty
They
slow.
visit a lot.
Did we let that
track.
big group roll through though? Because that's what we started with. We started with a really big group, and we're like, this is not fun. There was like 12 or 14 of us. It was dumb. So we broke off, and that's why I ended up shooting with them.
We were bouncing group, and all of a sudden they were just like, you guys cannot play through.
You guys
All
have
right,
to shoot with
that's
us.
fine.
Have to shoot with us.
Yeah.
How was it shooting with us? Were we pretty decent?
You guys are all right. I think I still won the overall score, but
That's not true.
Did you?
It's not true.
That's not
Fake-
true.
Fake news.
You won the whole thing?
Of course, the whole shoot, the entire shoot.
Got
Best
first
top
place.
score on the mountain
Best
for the
score
week.
recorded for the week. Yeah, on all targets under 25 yards.
That's one Levi Morgan was at, Chris B. And
Everybody.
you still won, you
Yeah,
won the whole
pick,
thing.
Pick a top shooter.
Yeah, and you
Whipped
yeah.
him. It was my last good year.
topped out then. It was over.
How long had you guys been shooting at that point?
Like just shooting bows
Yeah.
in general. I think I got my first bow from my dad when I was probably 9 years old.
Oh, for a while then, long time.
Yeah, and I got out of it for a while. I went down. I rodeoed a lot through high school and college and all that, and I didn't hunt as much in those years. But when I can remember being a little kid, just running around the yard, just with fingers and little compound bow, just flinging arrows all the time.
I think I only been shooting for 2 years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did he get you into it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got me a bow for Christmas. I think it was 2019 or 2020.
See, it worked for him,
20.
Trail.
Oh, yeah, we had this discussion the
Worked
other
for
day.
me, worked for him.
It didn't work for me. worked the opposite for me, actually. It was a turn off.
The question is, did you get her a top tier bow?
I was so decked out.
Oh man,
Yeah, of the year, brand new
Dang.
model year. Yeah, brand new Matthews women's
'Cause I always
bow,
feel like-
new strings, arrows, the whole nine.
I always feel like
whole
that's where
deal.
guys make a lot of mistakes. Is they're super into it by themselves, super top end, and they want to get their significant other, so we'll just get them the low end model just to see if they like it or not, and it's usually not as fun. So I mean, when I got
Yeah.
Lindsay, I wanted to make sure I got her like the best stuff out there because that way it's more fun. Because it's more fun when you have all the great
Yeah.
gear. So
Trail
why
did-
not make sure they have it as well?
You did custom strings, custom arrows,
Custom
arrow
arrows,
wraps,
strings.
everything matched.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
All top. of
I
the
went
line.
all in.
then
That's a
nothing.
It was
Just
a big letdown
dang.
on Christmas morning.
Trail.
Is what it is.
But then after that, though, like Total Challenge, this was kind of fun, though, about going to those events because, like, you meet cool people. I would have never met you guys if it wasn't for there.
Yeah.
But then, like, we go our separate ways, and you go back, you guys are from Montana.
Yeah.
I come back to Nevada. And then, was it the same year, the year after, I went to give a seminar at the Western Hunting Summit
Would've
Pretty
been
sure it's the next
following
year.
next
Yeah.
year. Yeah, and then you guys were at the Western Hunting Summit. We
Yeah.
went
Yep.
again. then the friendship developed even further then, because we're hanging out the whole time, talking
Yeah.
about mule deer,
Shooting
not
on the
elk.
mountain and
Yeah.
mule deer, not elk.
Yeah.
Hadn't convinced me at
Lies.
that time though. I was still pretty hardcore archery elk.
So Brady definitely talked about elk. You can just say it.
We saw a lot of elk. We talked about elk a little bit, but
What were you guys saying though last night at my house? You were saying something about how you're
He's
slow.
you should preface that they're staying at your house.
Yes.
yeah, it's preface this. Brady has opened his house up, so you have to act like you like mule deer if
That's
you're
it.
staying at Brady's
okay.
house.
Okay.
There's a sign when you walk in the door. So,
House rules.
Yeah.
House rules, no elk talk.
You
Yeah.
should have a house rules there that says mule deer only or something like that.
He just has a sign that just says mule deer, and that's all. It's one page. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I do have that in my
Mule
kitchen.
deer.
It just says mule deer.
You do?
It's even in his Wi-Fi password. I'm not going to say his Wi-Fi password, but mule deer's in
It's
it.
in it?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Why
is.
wouldn't it be?
It is, yeah.
But back to what you're saying, I did admit that after this fall and getting to go out of state and try hunting mule deer in different terrain, it kind of is something fun about trying to find them on the mountain a little
Yeah.
bit more than elk. I love archery elk hunting. I love vocalization and stuff like that, but I did really enjoy the challenge of trying to find a deer on the mountain. It's a little bit different than an elk. Elk, you can find them fairly easily if you know what you're looking for.
That's why I like them.
What about you, Lindsay?
I've always been mule deer all the way.
Reasons?
They're just cooler. They're a chameleon. No matter where they're at, they're thriving there. I mean, people say that about whitetail too, obviously, but I think no matter where there's so many places to hunt mule deer. There's a lot of places to hunt elk too, but you don't get to as easily. And I think there's like 2 weeks, obviously, that most people would choose elk over mule deer, but the rest of the time.
I knew they were my friends for a reason.
Did you grow up hunting?
Just a little whitetail hunting when I grew up. That was about it.
Yeah, give us background
Yeah.
on where you're from, where you grew up, how long you
I grew up
married.
in Big Fork, Montana. That's where I was born and raised. We only moved away from there just 6 months ago now. Grew up on the property that I was born at, and then we moved on that same property right after we got married. Did a little bit of hunting growing up with my dad. We'd go into like the Swan Mountains there and look for whitetails. And back then I didn't have a lot of neighbors around, so we could just hunt on our property there. Now they can't do that anymore. But so I did that. I maybe killed like 5 whitetails growing up, and that was it. So then I didn't hunt again until 2018 when we
When you
started
met.
hunting together.
Yeah.
We met in 2017. And we went archery elk hunting. I think that was 18 together.
I think 19.
19, and we'd done 1 year of rifle mule deer. Loved it. Found a giant buck. Didn't get to shoot it. Went and bedded over on private, like 10 yards off, like over the fence. And I remember that was when we were like, man, this is gonna be hard. It's one of those things like you could shoot it, no one would ever know. But that was like when we kind of started learning the ethics and all the things. Like this is gonna be really fun. And then the next year we went, did archery elk. Fell in love with getting to do it a different time of the year. And then basically from there it was, all the time.
Trying
Always.
to find and hunt as much as we could.
Yeah.
What's the dynamic like of husband and wife hunting together? Like,
How long you been married first?
yeah.
Been married for 2 years. Been together almost 7.
Yeah.
So while you were dating, you were still kind of hunting together, or
Yeah.
not too?
Oh, yeah.
That's when we got
That's
into
when
it.
we
I
got
mean,
Yeah.
I proposed when we were elk hunting is September 7th.
Yeah.
I remember
There we
that day,
go.
yeah.
Dang.
So
Yeah.
Did you like,
What took you so long,
hang a
though?
ring on a tine or something?
no,
Did
I
you-
had it in my pocket. I didn't take the box with me because we had backpacked in. So like
Oh,
you're trying to save weight.
You were
so
nervous about losing it, I guarantee.
all day in my pocket.
Yeah.
Kept always having my hand in there. Okay, it's still there. It's
I
still
can
there.
imagine.
Had a buddy there to video, and I can remember it. We were walking the trail back that day. It snowed on us September 7th, and we saw some elk earlier. Lynn's almost actually had an opportunity. She elected not to shoot a bull. It was a little far and just not quite the right scenario. And we were headed back, and I can remember we were going down this hill, and I told my buddy, he was with us. I was like, okay, he came strictly so he could video it for me and get pictures and stuff. And I was like, and I remember walking down that hill, and I would have thought I was going to fall down. And I was shaking. My knees were just. And I've done some things where I feel like high pressure situations, stuff like that, nothing. And I had a really strong feeling she was going to say yes, even. And it was just get down there at the bottom. And
There was a question. She might say no.
no, I mean, but I guess you feel that way with the nerves. Like the nerves make you feel
Sure.
like this isn't going to, but you know. And so I get down to the bottom of the hill and I get in front of her and I get down on my knee and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like stopped in the trail, tying your shoe, like get out of my way. And I turn around and I'm just like shaking. And it went
Love
great
it.
after that, but it was one of those scenarios.
Oh yeah, it did go great after that, but he's leaving out that he burned my boots for making a fire. We didn't really like look at the weather. I don't know if we didn't look at the weather well or just weather we didn't know was coming rolled in. But we got a snowstorm. We had like 30-degree bags. Snowstorm came in, we made a fire, and then the wind blew the fire into my boots, burned up the inside of my
Her
boots.
boots were soaked. I was trying to dry
He was
them
trying
out.
to be nice. But it was one of those
Trying
things.
to do the right thing.
Trying to do the right
It's the
thing.
action that counts.
It
Yeah.
was. Oh yeah, we had a lot of laughs that trip.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
What day did you propose of this hunt?
It was,
Third day.
no, we'd hiked in. It was just the second day of actual hunting.
Yeah.
Was your
Yeah.
ultimate goal of you were hoping to like knock an elk down and then propose?
That was actually, yes, that was the top tier. It was just like go up to one and figure out how, like, while we were looking at it, gutting it, whatever, how to like plant that ring in there. That
like
did not
translate, like, put
happen.
it on
So I had
the
to go,
time?
yeah, something like that would have been, was in my head going into like, this is how we're going to do it. But
I can't
I think
imagine. Go ahead.
I think I'd only been shooting my bow at that point for 3 months, maybe.
Yeah.
That would have been a miracle, I think. So that was a
yeah,
lot.
my goal
of,
was to her to get the bull
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
make it like
Yeah.
just the best trip she could
Yeah.
ever imagine. I mean, I think it was still probably her top hunting trip, you know, but
I can imagine. I'd have been like, let's get this over with. So I can,
Just
so I can
halfway in the
get
hike
this
in.
nerves, get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably why you weren't hunting very well before then. 'Cause, like you're so nervous.
hunting very well. We got in on elk.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
you had a
did.
chance.
Yeah.
I
So
did. It was at 50, and I just wasn't not comfortable with that. So
go back. Sorry.
See, I just want to know like the dynamic of hunting. Like we talked about a little bit last night when we were going out to dinner. Like, what's the dynamic like of hunting with a significant other? Like, because you guys both love hunting. I can tell. I mean, I've hung out with you guys a lot, but like, just explain that for people. Like, because what you do all the time hunting, you both go together. Like, you constantly are one and the same. Like,
Do you guys both go with tags?
Usually, yeah.
usually,
You both
this
got
was the
tags,
first
you're
year
both
we
hunting.
didn't. When we did the Colorado hunt, that was the first time that we just decided one person gets a tag for something that's new like that. I think there's no point. I mean, people do it, but I see it a lot where like 4 guys are gonna go hunting and they all get a tag and they have a week. And to me, that's just you're divvying it up way too much. So that was one of those. We had 5 days, and I was like, you put the majority of the work in when it comes to maps and everything. Like this is your. He's put a lot of the focus on me for the past 3 years. It's just I feel like time like he gets to reap a lot of the benefits.
Yeah, I love the dynamic of it. It's you have like, especially with like Linz and loving to hunt as much as she does. Like I have a built-in good hunting partner. You know, everybody has hunting partners stuff like that, but like we work out together all the time. We're strengths are different. I love the e-scouting aspect of things and research and all that. Lindsay could really care less about diving into that kind of stuff. But when we get on the mountain, women I think are a little more mentally tough than men just naturally, and that aspect she's always been good there. A great partner to have, always up, just loving to be out there because she just loves being outside. So where I'm like, man, we're not finding game, stuff like that. She's just like, hey, we're just out here and we're enjoying it. Like it's going to turn around, keep your chin up, and it usually always does. And so that part's nice. And you can go home, we can talk about it. Then it's just more quality time you get to spend together. And I think some of your best friends you build through like adversity together, like spending time on the mountains, hard pack outs, all that. Well, it's just that much more building when it's with your spouse, and you guys can just build that much more of a relationship, having to really rely on each other and trust each other's judgments in those scenarios and things like that.
Lorenzo, you hunt with your wife. You guys ever had tag the same time?
We've never had a tag at the same time. We did once in Colorado, but I didn't even hunt. It was all about her. It was kind of the same deal. She was new to hunting through me, so I just put all the focus on her. We both had tags, but I didn't even think about it. Like it was just her.
We have different likes, which is nice when it comes to animals. We play the game a lot when we're driving to wherever we're going to go hunt of like, all right, you have this and this in front of you, which are you picking? And we almost always pick the opposite of each other, so that's nice to know. Like if we're going to go out mule deer hunting and we see obviously there's a size of like it gets big enough, you're both like, I want it. But if we're going to go out and we see like a non-typical funky 150 and a perfect 170, I'm going to pick the funky 150 because I just like weird creatures. He's going to pick the pretty 170. So, I mean, we get lucky there if we like the different things a little bit.
We definitely play the who spots it game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get out there, it's still like hunting with someone else. It's not like
Yeah.
give me. It's you're like, no, if I spot it, you get first choice at if you want to take it or not.
Or like if you pick the spot on the map and you find something, you get to shoot it.
Sorry, we had to stop.
Producer
Cody,
just had a weird reaction to
Yeah.
something.
Just lost audio.
Oh.
Oh,
Cody, you good over there?
It was on this side.
You need an energy drink, coffee? We get
he
anything?
just fell asleep.
Doing
I
all right.
lost audio.
Whoa! You guys ever fight when you're out there?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can think of a couple, it's always, I mean, it's only when things are hard, you know, like when you're down out in the luck that if it's never like you made the wrong decision, I'm so mad at you. For the most part, it's usually just like a toughen up a little bit, you know? Like,
I mean, yeah. Like I said
He's
earlier.
got roasted.
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
just-
it's true.
There's some times like, I mean, shit, you go watch these YouTube videos. Guys are at 10, 12 days and they see a couple things and they end up with a great buck. So you get 4 or 5 days into sitting on some water or something like that and you're bumming. It's like, dude, perk up a little bit. Like, it's, you don't know. Come on.
it.
Like, we're hunting. What else? We could be
That might be
working.
the best thing we've ever heard.
It might
What,
be.
how's it being like going back to camp then that night? Like sleeping in the same tent together?
We
Then?
usually have a
Like-
good talk. I mean, we usually end up having a good talk about it. Just
Yeah.
being like, no, you're right. Like, I'm just down. And it's like, yeah, you're going to have down moments. This is hard, but I don't know. Look at the thing that God gave us. We get to do. Like, we get to hunt. That's a passion we share together. It's something we get to do together. Hunting creatures. People don't even do that anymore. A lot of people don't do anything outside, let alone provide their own food and make memories like this.
It's a great point.
Lorenzo, before you were married, and then, I mean, I guarantee you've been asked this question, and I've thought about it a lot, but like, would you like your spouse to hunt with you?
Oh, we talked about this yesterday.
On the way to dinner last
Yeah.
night, this was the question I gave Cody and Brady both.
Really?
I was
Yeah.
like, do you want a girl that's it's like Lindsay, super into it, like wants to go all the time with you, or do you want one that just like
Has her own
almost not
hobby.
even into it and has their own hobbies?
Yeah, and
Fully supports you
in it.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Brady.
Lay it out on the
Yeah,
line.
Brady, I want to hear what you
You got nothing to lose. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really don't right now. Like, and no girl's gonna probably listen to this ever. So, yeah, I mean, I said them to them last night. Like, to me, it's kind of like a hybrid approach. Like, I want them to be supportive of hunting. I would love them to love the outdoors. First of all, you have to love the outdoors. You're gonna hang out with me. You have to. Been down that road before. Did not work out. So, like, because like, I want to be able to do.
What
Like,
do you mean?
Yeah. Wait, what?
so,
Wait, stop.
we can
Could
get
you
more, we can
elaborate
do
on
more.
that?
We can do more dating advice
I'm
podcasts.
just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, but like, because you guys can do so many fun things together, and that's why I like the hybrid thing, like going out camping or going on a scouting trip. Even though it's a scout, maybe it's a scouting trip for me, and maybe she doesn't hunt, but we're going camping together still. We're still doing something fun together, so it's like meaningful in a way. And if she wanted to hunt, I'd be all for it. Like, I'd be totally jacked. Like, they asked like this competitive thing. Like, if I'm too competitive to let someone else shoot something, but it's like I'd be totally stoked with someone else hunting. But like I explained to them last night too, I had a ex-girlfriend back in the day who hunted and we shot bows together. We did everything, but like it was more hiking with a weapon than it was hunting for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that you went hunted.
Yeah, I did air quotes. She liked to hunt, but it felt like she just liked to hike around with a weapon. Like, we could go camping, in a sense, hiking with a weapon any time of the year. Hunting season is so short. I want to go out there to hunt, to find an animal, to kill an animal. But it was more just, hey, let's just out here. Maybe we'll get an animal, maybe we won't. And it's like, we need to go get an animal. That's what we're doing today. So like, that's where my like more competitive side is like, if you want to go hunting with me, we're going to go hunting and we're going to have a good time hunting, and I'll do whatever I need to do to make it fun, make it comfortable. But like, we're hunting. We're not just like, oh yeah, it was just casual. Let's maybe sleep in tomorrow because we must want to hang out. Like, no, we can sleep in and hang out camping in the summer or some other time of year. So
And in her defense, how often did you offer just to go camping that wasn't scouting and or hunting related?
gosh, Wilson.
That's a great question.
Why
That's a
you
great
to bring?
question.
I mean, not probably.
Well, you're
often.
over here like, oh, we could sleep in when we camp in the summer. And the
Yeah.
only reason I say that is I know myself of guilty of that. That's,
Yeah.
I think, why Lindsay had to take on the hunting so much. I am a terrible hobby hiker, hobby camper. If we're going camping or something in the summer, it's usually because I want to go scout somewhere or something like that.
That's
Yeah.
true. Like, I probably did more like that scouting type stuff, but like I do enjoy mountains, so we did a lot of random hikes and stuff like that. Went fly fishing in some high mountain lakes and stuff like that. But got to have that hybrid approach to me. It's like, if she wants all in, sure, I'm all in too. Like, you want to be a full on hunter, and you are, like, great. That means we can do things together, share those moments, practice, work out together.
What do you think, Lorenzo?
Yeah.
I see Lorenzo
Well,
stewing.
It's gonna sound like a cop out because I mean I'm married to her, so what else am I gonna say? But I have found the perfect wife for me because she's into it enough where like we'll do it together. It'll be a family vacation. Like she's all for, even counting it as a family vacation with us hunting with our kids. But at the same time, she knows I am an absolute degenerate and need to be selfish at times and like actually go, be kind of weird about it, where it's like, that's the only thing that matters. It's all I want to do, midnight to midnight, round the clock. It's just all about hunting. and she supports that side of it as well. So like, I mean, of course, I'm gonna say I have the perfect setup for me. I mean, that's why I married her. I can't really say anything else either, you know. So it's gonna sound like a cop out, but it's genuinely true. For me, it's definitely that hybrid. Because the other thing too is like, man, if I didn't have her for our kids at home, like who knows what my kids would turn out to be,
Right.
Like, because I would just have them. They want to go to school, literally. Like, you guys just aren't going to school in the fall. Like, if they were just, if she was with me all the time on every hunt, well, then the only other option would be our kids aren't going to school, and this is what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
What about you, Trail? Because you've hunted with your wife.
What's the next question? This is a tough one. The times that I've taken her hunting when she's had the tag, it's been great. It's been good. I can't say that she's ever gone hunting with me. And I think it's probably twofold. I don't think that she'd be super into the type of hunting that I do mostly. And as it turns out, I'm not that good at bending as far as the type of hunting that I want to do. Because when I get out there, like I have an objective, and it's always been to fill my permit with like the best possible animal I can find, and I'm pretty, I guess, selfish in that, I would say. It's not that I wouldn't take her. I would. It would be hard for me to like bend the way that I like to. It's like, I'll put it like this, so I don't sound like a complete asshole, which I don't know if I can do at this point.
I think
I don't know if I can save it. It just like means so much to me. Like it's like it's an entire year built up into like one time frame of one thing that I really want to do. That is like my only passion, really my only hobby. And like the sense of satisfaction and just like self that I get from that, from like going out and doing it on my own, like I value that so highly. I think that she also recognizes like how important it is to me. Like, and I don't know that it would be her jam, you know what I mean? It's a tough question for me. It's a lot tougher than you might think, I guess.
But I don't think you sound like an asshole at all. 'Cause if it
You can tell me if I do.
You don't, because if it makes you a better person, it's going to make you a better husband, a better father, and all those things to get to go have a passion like that. I mean, like if you really think about it, there's so many people that live for nothing. Like there's not one thing that drives them. So you have a thing, and our thing drives us to also be better, healthier, happier humans. It's just like you could be doing way worse.
Yeah.
You could just love beer. And that was your thing. And like you were just drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Or there's just so many things. Like it could be so much worse. And the thing that you love to do also puts meat in your guys' freezer. Like that's a bonus.
Well, to preface too, I think a difference between like myself and Lindsay, and then you and your wife and Brady, if you found a girl eventually, and even Lorenzo and Taylor,
Miraculously finding her.
and like Lorenzo and Taylor's situation is, I came into this. I grew up hunting, yes, but I got out of it for quite some time, and I moved back to Montana in 2016, and then kind of started like learning Western hunting then when I moved back home. And so I wasn't like an accomplished hunter. It wasn't what I did all the time. So I just got into it. And so when Lindsay and I first started dating, it worked out because I was just learning the ropes of more Western hunting myself and really diving into it. And so I could bring her along with me because I wasn't like, oh, I'm so much more elevated and like, no, this is what I do. This is what I'm learning to love. And we could develop that together. So I think that makes a big difference too. Is
Yeah, like we didn't start out backpacking or doing things like that. Like, so like what you're saying, you'd be asking her to definitely be hunting a certain way.
I mean, it'd be my preference.
Yeah.
And I should say, in my defense, it's not necessarily her. It's just like people in general.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, mostly
Yeah.
I hunt alone because I
Yeah.
like being alone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have hunting partners. I've hunted with Lorenzo. I've hunted with Brady. You know, Neville, and I've had awesome hunts. And it's a different type of hunt, and I love the camaraderie that goes into it. But like, I also really genuinely just love like hunting on my own. I like the challenge that is. So it's not necessarily my wife, I wouldn't say.
Yeah.
Although I know for a fact if we hunted together, like we'd argue. Like, it would be we would. And the other part about me, this isn't about me. We'll go back to you in a minute, but I really struggle like when I have somebody else with me, and like completely, like I'm kind of an empath, and that like I want to take care of them. I like want to make sure that they're okay. I want to make sure that they're warm and taken care of and fed and comfortable and all that. And it's like pretty taxing, like, and not so much like physically I'm not packing a bunch of extra stuff for other people, but like I'm kind of catering to them and like what I feel like sometimes. Not all the time, but it's just like this added like mental thing in my head.
And this might.
And I can let go of that when I'm on my own.
Well, and I think even like Lindsay and I, when we first started hunting together, I felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more we hunted together, I was just kind of like,
Now she's carrying you.
you're.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Toughen up.
Well, just like, I mean, she just like, I don't worry about her, Like
Yeah.
before, I'd always make sure, oh, your boot's good, or you warm,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And now it's just like, she knows the drill. She can take care of herself, start fires, all that kind of stuff.
I'm just thinking about us going over to your Colorado buck. I slid so far down the mountain. And I mean, you had to have heard just me going through this like icy snow. And he's like, you good? Like, yep. That was it. And he used to be like, honey, are you okay? Oh my gosh, what do you need? Do you need anything? And now he's like, you're good? Cool, let's go. It's changed.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's a good.
The
It evolves.
dynamics of it.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever hunt solo?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
We have like antelope, things like that. Like stuff like when you're going to stalk and you don't want to just think about somebody just waiting on you. That's too weird mentally. I think it takes away from the stalk. So like things like that we have. And I think in the future, though, I'm sure there'll be times that we will more.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't been Western hunting that long. And so I really had friends that helped me get into it and hunted with them. And then Lindsay came along that second year into it. So I really haven't done a whole lot of solo hunting. So I think that's why I also don't have that drive to like, I want to go and plan some solo hunts and do those. But right now I'm so used to just hunting with a partner in a sense. And even though like we hunt together, I still make 90% of our decisions most of the time. So it's still like, I'm not like, oh, what do you think? Or like letting that hinder, like if we're trying to, cut some elk off or, find this bucket, a good spot. I'm not like using it as a, like, we should sit here and plan. I kind of still trust my gut and just tell her like, hey, this is what I think. And she trusts what my decisions on it. But at the same time, if she has an opinion on something or thinks that we're doing it wrong, I don't ever hesitate to take her opinion on it and do that. I think this year, my first solo hunt was my antelope hunt. I went and shot an antelope with my bow. And that was the first time I just went out by myself and did all that. And yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Did you guys camp together, same tent? You
Yeah.
lump it in, swap
How
gear,
weird would
camp
that be
gear?
for
I don't know,
like
man.
different
Zip
tents?
together, sleeping bags.
I'm
No.
just thinking of a situation where I'd be like, yeah, I kind of need my own tent for a night. I'm just gonna go over.
No, I mean, yeah, we share a tent for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saving weight.
Saving
Yeah.
weight.
Ultra light.
It's like
Yeah.
the one time that I don't care how close I am to any hunting partner outside of my wife, I am not sharing a tent.
That's why
There's
we.
just no
That's why I
any tent.
bring.
Like,
That's
if
why I
it was
bring
a-
this.
There's no chance.
No matter
But
the
with my
size of the
wife,
tent.
whatever.
I think me
Even
and
a big
Lorenzo are gonna
tent?
share a tent in the
Man.
future.
Like
No.
the big old teepees in
like
the
a
midst
like
of
a
winter.
like a red cliff, like a 4-person teepee. You wouldn't share that with someone else.
Oh
on a hunt.
yeah, that's a little different.
Okay.
That's a little different.
Yeah, I'm not talking like a little dome tent. I'm talking like a teepee that's decent sized.
Yeah, I've definitely shared that before.
You ever shared a tent with another dude?
I mean, big tents.
Not
I
like
shared
a
a
one
skyscraper
person.
with someone.
Yeah, with my dad, I guess. I have like a 2-manner. Other than that, no.
I never
think,
have.
I can't think so.
And then like a 1 or 2 man, I never have.
Yeah, I can't.
Is it
think
the
of-
fear of like rolling over and touching hands?
No,
or is
man.
it-
It's just like
I look
space.
forward to that. I can't. it's not that at all. It's just like personal space
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
like time to kind of. I mean, I'm establishing myself here as kind of a weirdo, obviously, but yeah, I like having my space. Like you have a hunting partner. It's great to hunt together, but like
Yeah.
a few hours at night, you go climb in your bivvy or climb in your.
Yeah,
it's
it's just you and your thoughts.
thoughts and kind of collect your thoughts and
Yeah.
have some time to yourself. I know that was a weird question for husband and wife. My bad.
Yeah, it would have been.
I
It
instantly
would have been
regretted that
interesting
one.
if we were like, yeah, man, we love to sleep in separate tents on different ridges, but hunt together.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you've been married a while.
Yeah.
So I want to jump into something too, because obviously you said before you guys live in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can hunt everything under the sun. Over-the-counter tags galore. Mule deer, elk, pick up an antelope tag, turkeys,
Mm-hmm.
bear. But you decided to go out of state this year for the first time.
Hunter-
You already said the state, so I can probably say the state right now. I'm just,
What
We're
unit-
gonna say
what
the state.
unit?
You can say the state.
I mean, you guys went on your first out-of-state hunt. That was
Yeah.
the first. It was the first out-of-state hunt, right?
In
Yeah.
Colorado.
In Colorado.
Colorado.
First, like Western.
Well, first
and we did
Western.
Kansas-
We went to
did
Kansas
and
last year.
stuff,
Okay,
but-
yeah.
Via Insider, knew when to buy our points. All that actually helped with surprising with Kansas. and
What'd you
that
hunt in
stuff.
Kansas?
Whitetail.
How'd you guys do?
Yeah, let's
Good.
talk about
We
that.
both got bucks.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You're talking to two like newly whitetail addicts here trailing.
Public
lines,
land?
Yeah.
No,
No.
private land.
How'd you go about getting private?
I had
We
some
just had buddies.
I had some friends from college that I rodeoed with, and we had just rekindled the last few years, and they came out and hunted elk with us a couple years ago. And in return, they said we were more welcome to come hunt their farms there in Kansas.
I forgot about the Kansas thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Nice.
apologize.
No, that's
Okay.
all right.
What was that process like for learning a new species?
Well, I mean, I grew up, so I'm lived in Montana since I was 9, but I grew up in the Southeast. And so I grew up hunting whitetails. That was my dad. I mean, that was their thing. And my dad would go on Western hunts when I was young, like before I could even go and stuff like that. And then when we moved to Montana, we still just like hunted whitetails quite a bit. Like living in Western Montana, that's predominantly what you have is whitetails. So that part, but just the mental part of tree stand hunting was way more than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was cold. I mean, it was like single digits sitting in there. We're hunting the rut. We're there around November, I think 11th or something like that. So it was like prime date. So you're sitting there daylight till dark, and you're just sitting.
You bow hunting?
Bow hunting, yeah.
Do you hang your own stands and?
No, they
No,
had
you
stands
had
on.
stands?
Well,
Stands.
yeah. And then
We moved them around.
We moved some stands around while we were there, but they kind of had sets already in place and all that, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We got spoiled that way for sure.
Yeah.
You guys killed good bucks too. I remember
Yeah.
that now.
Yeah, I got my best whitetail buck, and Lynn's got her
My best
and
whitetail.
best and
but
first of the
that
bow.
doesn't say a lot, but
Hers was cool though. It was a 9-year-old deer. Like they had
That's
pictures
awesome.
and history with it for a long time, so that was really awesome.
yeah,
That is
Bodies on those Kansas whitetail are just huge.
Different. Yeah.
huge.
That's
Yeah.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
One day I'll experience it.
Weren't you
Someday
guys-
soon.
weren't you guys talking
One day
about-
soon.
One
yeah,
day
you guys
soon.
talking
Yeah,
about.
we're working on it, man. I'm working on
I
it.
highly
Working hard on
recommend it if you can. It's just fun. I don't know if you guys have ever hunted tree stands much at all, but
I've
it's
never even hung a tree stand.
it's different, but it's fun. Yeah, be careful. Wear your safety harness.
Oh,
100%.
I'll be safetied up.
Yeah.
Who did I just see the other day fell out of a tree?
Oh,
What?
What's her dad?
Jeff Barron, I think.
Yeah.
Hannah Barron's
Yeah.
Might have
dad.
been, yeah.
Yeah.
Fell out of a tree?
He had a tree
Damn.
stand break, broke his neck.
Yeah.
And
Holy
back.
shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I had that happen in 2018. I had a tree stand break on me, shattered my left leg.
You weren't harnessed up?
I wasn't harnessed up.
I'm going to be
And what-
harnessed
what do you think-
all the way through.
What do you think happened that made that?
I think
got recalled, didn't it?
the stand was just it'd been hung out like so. I had it hung and I'd taken it down, but the cables they have like wax coatings on them, and water just got in there and they rusted right at the platform bolts there. And I'd hung that stand that night, and I remember I was headed out and it was late in the evening and I wasn't going to hunt very long. My dad's like, "Hey, don't forget your safety harness," and I'm really comfortable in them. And I always, when in my head I think of a tree stand accident of like someone falling asleep and falling out, or just not paying attention, getting in and out, and that's how you fall. And I was like, no, I'll be all right. Like I don't need it tonight. It's no big deal. And sure enough, I get my stand hung, and I get up in there, and I'm putting my my bow hanger in, and getting ready to start lean over, start pulling my bow up, and all of a sudden, just next thing you know, I'm on the ground. Went straight down. Luckily, it broke like a trap door, and both cables snapped and went down like that. And so I just fell straight to the ground. But I mean, it could have been, one cable breaks, you buck yourself out one side, just way worse. And
No, thanks.
yeah,
You say you shattered your leg?
yeah, my left one.
Then what do you do?
Called my uncle. Luckily, I had service.
So you're laying there at the bottom of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
Lay
walk.
there. I didn't even look down at first. I could tell when it hit. I was like, okay, it's messed up. But I didn't want to look and it be like outside my boot or something like that, And I just was like,
Sorry, did this happen right when you hopped in it? So you didn't have your bow out? Was an arrow knocked?
no, my bow was coming. I landed on my bow though.
Oh, so
Broke
that's what I
my
was worried
quiver,
about,
broke
like-
4 arrows. Luckily, I laid there and I was pretty, felt around like, okay, nothing's sticking in me or anything like that. And then I called my uncle and I was like, hey, I'm okay, but my stand broke and I'm pretty sure I broke my leg. And he was probably about 2 miles away, but I had the truck. I had dropped him off, went and parked about 1/4 mile from where I was hunting. And I was like, okay, I could probably crawl to the truck. The worst part of the trip was I'd gone down to visit my family. My dad had back surgery, so I'd gone down just to hang out and take care of him while he had back surgery. And there I am 2 days after his surgery, breaking
Laid
my
up.
leg. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so, yeah, I called my uncle. He came and got me. I got a hold of my dad. He brought a 4-wheeler over so they could get me out of the woods. Felt bad. I mean, he drove it over there after his back surgery and all that. And yeah, it was pretty wild deal. And after that, it took a long time for me to even get comfortable getting in a tree again.
Oh,
Even
I'm
safety,
sure.
safety harnessed up, any of it. I remember the first time I went back and got in a tree, I climbed up and I just sat there and held the tree like this and just thought about it and honestly climbed down and was like, I'm not hunting today. It took a while to mentally get over that.
Lorenzo, you never hunted out of a tree stand?
Never. I mean,
You ever been up one?
like not real. No, not
Gotcha.
really. Not truly. I've tried it,
Yeah,
like in Utah, just some mule deer stuff, but never, not like that.
it's weird.
Never done that.
I don't like it.
Have you ever tried to saddle?
Never tried to saddle. I've hunted tree stands a lot, muleys and bears and
Yeah.
whitetail, but I've never been comfortable enough yet to shoot something out of a tree stand standing.
Standing, yeah. That's
Yeah.
even.
Sitting,
You stay sitting?
Sitting.
Yeah, I
For
saw
the-
mine sitting.
Yeah, she shot her sitting, and the first probably 5 or 6 times I was back in a stand, I figured out like I couldn't stand.
Yeah.
That being on that platform, just standing like that, it just was not for me for a while.
It's so wild to get around those guys that do it all the time, and they're like full leaned out, hanging off the tree, hanging off 1 foot off their stand shooting, and you're like,
Yeah, I don't like
they're
heights
so
that
comfortable.
Yeah, me either. I wasn't a heights guy before it happened, so afterwards it really
Got a
saddened
lot
me
to
on
think
it.
about here.
You ever
Like,
built a tree
start getting
stand?
into this
But
whitetail
Like a
stuff.
tree fort growing up, like
Tree
learning
fort? No, I don't.
I guess it's a.
I think if you
A
have-
tree house?
Yeah, like treehouse,
Yeah.
tree fort, yeah.
Oh, never had a tree house.
Like
We grew up
built
in
those all the
southern
time
Utah, probably not big enough trees
Yeah,
to
no
make
tree
tree
houses.
houses out of.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
He had a sage house.
That's where like I don't really fear being up in a stand because we built tree houses all the time when I was a kid. Those are way sketchier getting up into and making sure they're stable when you hop up into it.
I think if you
First
buy
time try
like
to sleep in
quality
it.
equipment though, like I really spent after that, I bought really nice tree stands and things like that, and good safety harnesses, and it's really you're good once you get all that kind of stuff, and you know your equipment's good. And to me, I just like scrapped. I was like, I'm buying all new tree stands, all that, and
Yeah.
then you don't have to worry about it as much. It's really not that bad once you get comfortable again with it.
I remember I had a group of muleys, like up in this high alpine basin, and they would kind of work up and down this drainage. So that's big Doug fir. So I climbed up in there and I whirled it out and I hung a tree stand. And I'll never forget the first day I climbed up in there in the dark. I got up in there and it started to get light, and I was like, nope,
Got right back out.
nope, this is not for me. They aren't that big. I'll hunt them from the ground. So yeah, I pulled the stand and bailed on sitting in a tree stand because I'm sure that thing was way higher than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But I just remember thinking this isn't for me. I've since hunted out of them and I've been okay, but I don't like.
I'm gonna have a lot to think about when
Yeah,
I
and
finally do this.
Yeah, I would figure it out for whitetail, because I want it that bad. But
I think the strategy there is like find a tree with good cover and just don't get up as high.
yeah,
Like my uncle, he showed me pictures of stands they had back in the day. I mean, they were 25, 28 feet up in these
Yeah.
trees. And I'm just like,
Why?
no, thank you. I find like down south, find like a pine tree that has a lot of limbs on it and stuff. Then you can just get 12 foot off the ground and just hide yourself better and things like that. So
yeah,
then
this
you
one
feel
was
a little
really
more
high.
comfortable. Yeah.
You're just way up
Because
there.
I was in a drainage and they would come like working
On
down
the
the
other
side
side.
hill, and I thought, man, shit, they're going to be like eye level, right? So I got to get even higher.
Yeah.
It was very high.
Yeah.
And the wind would blow, you'd sway around up in there in it. and I
That
was
is
like,
the weird. That
"Oh,
is a weird feeling when it gets
Yeah.
windy.
hard now. Anyway, we took,
Hard
we,
now.
we took
Back
a-
to Colorado, I guess.
yeah, back
we-
to Colorado. We took a hard
Took a
left.
tailspin around that. But yeah, like so being able to hunt mule deer, everything there over the counter in Montana, what made you decide to go out of state to hunt the same species you could hunt in your home state? to Colorado?
Honestly, just being greedy, wanting more deer, wanting to hunt more, wanting more opportunities to
Canceled.
extend our hunting season.
Yeah.
I mean, that was honestly the bottom line, and I wanted a chance to get a really good deer. And I felt like the opportunities in Montana to kill a deer were there. It just maybe not to find the quality and just the hunt experience overall. I have friends that kill great deer and they spend a lot of time up in the mountains, but they see 4 deer, 5 deer in the season. But it's going to be a good one, and I just wanted the opportunity to hunt the terrain I wanted to hunt more than anything. Like Montana, to get your quantity, you're going to hunt in a certain part of the state that you're going to see a lot of deer, and it's not meant to be quality. And then you can go to a state like Colorado, who has the quantity and quality in certain units, and you're going to hunt terrain. Like I wanted to hunt mountain deer, found a unit that fit that, had the terrain, and just wanted to be able to go experience an out-of-state hunt, and also just go hunt somewhere new. I mean, you kind of hunt the same over and over in your home state, and it's awesome, but it's always fun to go be able to try a new area as well.
So it sounds like you're like partially chasing adventure.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hunt some big mountain deer.
Yeah.
Want to try something new, figure out some new hunting style maybe in a way. or
Yeah,
just do something
don't
kinda
get me
different.
wrong. We wanted to succeed and harvest on the hunt in Colorado, but at the end of the day, it was just an adventure. Like I wanted to go try our wits. Like we'd been pretty successful. We usually filled most of our tags each year back home, and just wanted to go see what it was like if we could do it somewhere else and just
Yeah, test
chase that
yourself.
adventure and just see what it was like hunting high elevation and different places.
So obviously, I know you guys are insiders. No shameless plug there, but like, how did you guys utilize like how to find a hunt then? Because like you could have gone a lot of different places, but you said you want to chase certain habitat, certain terrain, and then like using the tools. Like, what did you do to try to find the hunt?
Right.
That you end up drawing.
So I didn't have a high point holder in Colorado, and so I just used like filtering 2.0 to figure out what I could draw my first year, and then figure out used it to figure out like the terrain that matched that, like going through the unit profiles, reading the different like the habitats of the actual terrain. So I knew like, I mean, because Colorado, you could hunt front hunt. So you're going to hunt lower country. You can hunt eastern Colorado. You can hunt mountainous. And then I also wanted to have certain criteria. Like I wanted a mountain hunt, but I didn't want to just hunt like straight timber. Like, you know, where I grew up, Northwest of Montana, that's what you're hunting. You're going to be tracking bucks and things like that. Not a lot of glassing. I wanted to be able to glass country. So I used a lot of filtering 2.0 just to really go over the units and the profiles of each unit to narrow it down. And then I had a certain class of buck. Like if I'm going to be spending time to leave and, you know, time off work and all that, like I wanted a chance to at least kill the kind of quality buck I wanted to as well. Like, so I set those parameters in there as well. I wasn't just like find a unit with deer. I was like, no, I want to make it worthwhile if I'm going to be driving and trying. Not saying I had to kill the biggest buck in the unit, but I wanted a chance to just go out there and have a good chance of like, if I saw a 150-inch deer, being like, well, that is the top end of this unit. And that's not kind of what I was looking for for an overall hunt.
Did you so like, yeah, you're basically leaving mule deer to find mule deer.
Yeah.
The thought ever crossed your mind, like, you know, like, why am I leaving Montana? What if I just put some more effort in your home state? Like, you just, like I said, chase an adventure, chase something new. That's what
Yeah,
you're
and I
trying
felt
for?
like we'd put pretty good like effort in the past seasons. Like this year is different than most. We changed jobs, moved, like Lindsey said, we moved, and so I had to work a lot more. But in years past, I mean, we've spent probably 40 to 60 days of fall out hunting. Like we've been really blessed, worked our schedules that way to where we could just go out and spend as much time as we wanted to hunt. And I feel like I had seen not every deer out there, obviously, but hunted enough to know like kind of the class of bucks we would see in most places that we would hunt and things like that. And so I just wanted to, I mean, Colorado has a reputation of great deer, and this year it was a great moisture level in a lot of parts of Colorado, so antler growth was going to be good. And just kind of looking at profiles of like, I mean, the unit I picked had a burn in recent years, and so just those aspect of things that I wanted to try out and just hunt a mountain deer that I felt like was more obtainable in that state than where I live.
You mentioned earlier you love doing a bunch of e-scouting.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you go about e-scouting like a terrain you've never really hunted before? How's that process for you?
Well, luckily I have a friend like yourself who gave me some tips on like just like aspects to look at. And
Yeah, we were talking a lot about aspects and
Yeah,
like
like-
terrain analysis and
yeah, like
what
what I'm looking
slopes
at.
are going to be on. And
Exactly. And so like using terrain analysis and like even elevation band tools to narrow it down to, you know, northeast above 8,500 foot and north facing slopes and just things like that to really narrow it down, and then looking like what can you actually glass this country. And I never really hunted a burn much. So once we really got down there, I realized like burns are pretty glassable, pretty cool to hunt, but it was more just on the e-scouting side, just really trying to figure out, okay, there's a trailhead here, you know, the main trail goes up this canyon, but there's this canyon right off of it that I really just feel like a lot of places like that, that's where I like to hunt, is not maybe super far in, end up shooting my buck fairly far in, but like hunting 2-3 miles in on just stuff that's just right off the beaten path a little bit. Like, you know, the main trail is going to go here. It's going to divert to all these other trails that are 6-7 miles back in. And just find, this canyon, it might have to get up and over into it, but it's just right there. And just finding stuff like that and just trying to find what people overlook. I think a lot of people overlook areas to try to chase that adventure aspect of it.
What was the one piece of advice I gave you that we think we talked about the other day that like Lorenzo and Trey like to make fun of me about a lot?
I think you told me you're like just stick at the truck and just stay as low as you can for as long as you can.
Man, it works awesome.
It does work great.
No,
I can show you.
no, Brady did tell me talking like the snow wasn't quite there when I was there. So I asked him, I was like, do you think, I was like, I've looked at a lot of stuff that's around close to that 10,000 foot mark. Like, do you think it's worth going high? And he's like, I really do. And the first day we were there, so I'll preface the whole story is we are leaving our house and we're only about 35 minutes away, 40 minutes. And I realized I forgot my license. And me just being me about it, I was like, we'll just go. I'll get one printed when we get down there. Well, we get down there, and sure enough, the Fish and Game office isn't open.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, cool. So we're just like, we'll just go scout it. And so I did actually spend some time driving the lower stuff when I first got there, because the spot I wanted to go to, we wanted to backpack into it. And I didn't want to just do that just to backpack out to have to go buy the license. So I kind of ran through the low country to see, and that's just where, that's where everybody is. Everybody, it was a later
Seeing deer?
season hunt. Didn't see a single deer low.
So that's why I wanted to preface that, because I know some other people are hunting, let's say.
Sounds like you were looking in the wrong spots.
You
I
weren't
know
looking
some
close
other-
enough to the roads, honestly.
I know some other people in the area you're at, and they were hunting low, and they did not have very good success at all. Like you said, they were not seeing deer.
Yeah.
And I think you could have seen deer. There was just so many people.
That's the
And
thing,
you just,
yeah.
we go to Colorado for an adventure. Like, you don't want to see
Yeah.
a bunch of orange vests everywhere. You're gonna see some. I mean, that's just the world we live in now. But I want to see one or two. I don't want to look out and be like, oh. Like,
Yeah.
we're sharing this small area with 5 other people.
And like you mentioned earlier, you're kind of finding like barriers of entry. Like I
Yeah.
was talking about trying to find places that people just don't want to go. So like, we're going to backpack. You guys went further than other people wanted
Yeah.
to go.
This is the second season, third season?
It was a third season.
Third season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was just so we have to go, and then that was on a Saturday because the way I had to work Friday, and so we got to leave Friday night, drive down there, and so the opening day we didn't really get to hunt. I wasn't really planning on it anyways. I knew I had to be driving down from Montana, and then so the next day was a Sunday again.
Still not open.
Office still wasn't open. So then we just decided, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of just seeing people. So we just, we'll just hike into this spot. It was like 2.5, 3 miles in, and we'll just see what we can find. And then we'll figure out the game plan for the next day. We'll load up the packs, and then we'll just backpack in once I have a tag in my pocket again. And so we go in there, and we find, we actually spent all day sitting on this knob where I could see about 3 miles up canyon and about 2 miles down canyon. And that was when I was like, man, like deer are hard to find. Like you just sit there and you feel like you can see so much country. And we got like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was just like, all right, I'm bored. Like sitting here, been glassing since daylight and nothing. And so I just walked 60 yards up the ridge. Linz was taking a little snooze, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for a stroll and see what was around. And I just turned my glass on a hill we've been looking at all day, and just had moved 60 yards and spotted 8 does bedded. They're like 600 yards away. I was like, man, like, okay. So then it changes in your head, like they're there. You just got to look for them. And to kind of realize what they looked like, I was like, okay, maybe I've missed some deer, and sat there and found a few more deer throughout the day, and then just waited all day and didn't see a single deer till it was about half hour before dark. I spotted a group of does like 2.5 miles up canyon, and there's like a small buck with it, and I'm just like, dang, all right. Well, so at this point in my head, I'm like, we're going to have to figure out, we're going to have to go deeper, something different. And then all of a sudden I see a really nice buck walk out, and I was like, dang. So I get the scope on him, did some digiscope footage, but it's way too far and I don't have a tag anyways. And so we're just like, well, we'll plan on just being back here in the morning. But that plan was that I was going to have to bring Lindsey back, and this was going to be her first, she's going to have to hike in 3 miles in the dark by herself to go sit on the knob and hopefully find the buck in the morning. And so that's where we go back to having a good hunting partner, and then it being someone that, you really trust. And she did an awesome job. Next morning I dropped her off, and I had to go wait till the office opened at 8 a.m. to get my license. And she went in and sat in there and glassed deer all morning.
Did you find the buck in the morning?
I found a couple of bucks, didn't find that buck. Then, like I told you the other day, found a lot of people in really weird spots. Kind of figured out where not to go. Found that same group of does and a couple last day or bucks. By the time he got in, I just told him that, and so we just packed up stuff and headed 2 or 3 more miles in, just to get some new
Did
vantages.
you hear a lot of gunshots?
I didn't. I think I heard one over the ridge. There's a lot of elk hunters in the area,
Yeah.
so I kind of figured that's what most of them were, and we did run into a few different guys that shot some bulls, but not a ton of gunshots actually. But
That time of year, we've talked about it a lot, but your second and third season, you're right on the kind of the brink of that rut, and you might,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating because you might see a buck and then you might never see that buck again. As he just moves through country checking does.
I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
the weirdest part was probably mentally getting ready for the hunt. We were talking about, just camping in a ton of snow, stuff we hadn't done before. And then we got up there, and one day we're sitting there. I was napping. I do that a lot. But I was napping, and it felt like that sun on me felt like 75 degrees outside. And I think that was weird mentally, too. And one of the reasons we're let's just try to get up where there is snow is just if we don't want to be in this, these bucks with these big coats don't want to be in this. And it was just too warm out. So I think that was a big factor of just getting into the shade and away from kind of all the sunny spots.
But you're like, the whole time you're slowly piecing together the puzzle too, which is like a huge strategy. Like I said, you checked the low stuff, don't really see anything, found a lot of hunters, went and did something else, started finding some deer, start changing your plan to go further, find where they're kind of at, changing your plan again, getting further to get in like the spot where the bucks wanted to be.
Yeah.
And we'll walk through that the buck you shot. That's a pretty cool buck.
Well, I want to know. So you packed up from that spot. So once you got your tag and you went in there and met back up with her,
We didn't have backpacking stuff at that time though.
you guys just kept hiking
just kept
further
hiking
up
in.
the
Hike
ridge.
further, yeah.
Okay. So it's still a day hunt.
We
from the
went to
truck.
I went to where I'd wanted to get to like where I thought that buck from the night before it came out. I was like, I could shoot him from here. And, we were going to go about 2.5 more miles up the ridge, get a good advantage to where if he came out again, I'd have a good shot or a good play to get closer to shoot him. And at that point, because we had, that morning we were like, I was like, to get even max distance, it's about 4 miles, but I was like, we can day hike that. Like we can make that work. It's not a huge deal. And just in case, I didn't want to get pinned into the spot yet because we hadn't seen a whole lot of deer. I didn't want to just take all our stuff in and then get it back there and only see, a handful of does again and not the right buck and just be like, well, shit, here we are.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of like we're not afraid to get it up early and hike the even 4 to 5 miles in. And like just the mobility of having almost just like a truck camp. It's just, we've kind of got used to that, and it affords you a little more amenities at night and things. And you might have to expend more energy hiking in and out until we find somewhere we really like and want to backpack into it.
We've been bad about marrying ourselves to spots before. So we've just been trying really hard in the last couple of years to get away from that. I had a couple successes in areas or found really cool animals in a spot, which then makes us want to go back every single year, every single weekend, all the time. And that's good to an extent, but also sometimes you just need to venture off to new places.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we hike in and we get up to that knob where I wanted to sit, and we had glassed a guy down there. I think it was a shot share that morning. There's 2 guys. They had 8 goats and a dead bull. And that was, I'll tell you after, we'll get to those guys here in a little bit. But so we get on this knob, we're sitting there and we're glassing around, and I spot about, 800 yards away, there's 3 bulls coming bed down in front of us. Actually 3 really nice bulls. So there in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm holding a deer tag, but I've also got a hunting license. I could run down, buy an elk tag, but I'm like, okay, I'm here to try and find deer. And so that kind of put the kibosh to that one. And they bed there all day. And so we were watching the area where those deer were and didn't really see anything. And I just happened to go around the ridge we were on and just change my aspect of where I was glassing. And I glassed down canyon and I spot, oh, there's a doe. Okay, cool. And I see a buck bedded above her, and he's just literally head laid down, just wore out. I was like, okay. I was like, well, he's not really what I'm after. And all of a sudden I see, I'm watching them, and they're 1.5 miles away, and he just jumps up and looks and runs, but almost like he had winded something. And I was like, man, there's no way it's us. I was like, shoot, there's other guys down there. And all of a sudden I look and I see the buck I'd spotted the night before coming up out of the draw to bump his does. And I was like, there he is. And then this buck the night before, I was like, this is a buck I would love to shoot. He's about 27 inches wide, heavy, just a good representation of a mature Colorado buck. Like what you go to Colorado on a easier tag in hopes to find. Dark horned, good forks, like good 170-inch deer. And so I was like, okay, so if we look on my maps, I'm like using the rangefinders, like they're there. Okay, sweet. We can get here, I think we can make a shot to him over there. And so we bombed down the ridge, and we go by the guys taking care of their elk. And the reason I say I get back to them is walk up to these guys, and one guy's in pajama pants with Santa Claus on them.
Love it.
And
Colorado
the other
special
guys,
man.
the other guy's just rocking a tie-dye T-shirt, and they got their 9 goats around there.
Just
and they're
drinking Mountain Dew and
drinking
kicking it.
Mountain Dew and just. And we're
That's a
talking,
Utah thing,
we're,
though.
We're
What do
5
they
miles.
They probably were from Utah.
We're 5 miles in, and these guys are just chugging their Mountain Dews and their pajama pants with their goats. And I was like, these guys they're doing it.
And they shot a really cool bull. Like they had success.
Yeah, and
Did you ask them what the reasoning is for the pajama pants? And
no, I
No.
didn't. It was quick. Lynn's stopped and said hi to their goat, and
I've been wanting to get goats, so I was pretty tell me about these goats.
and I just kind of kept like, hey, I got a buck over here spotted. I'm just letting you guys know we're going to go try to make a play on it, and just kind of got through there, and then we get to this ridge, and we're like, shoot, like they weren't there. I was like, crap. And so I get the tripods back out again, and all of a sudden Lynn's is like, got him. I was like, perfect. And so we get positioned. I had to go back up the ridge about 25 yards to find a good flat spot and get everything laid out, and it was about 650-yard shot. And
Damn.
Lynn's had it on the digiscope, and I'd practiced quite a bit. I'll preface way back to the second time I ever met Brady. We were shooting at the hunting summit, and he gave me just a lot of tips on how to become a better rifle shot, like how to hold your hand, how to work on pressing your trigger instead of squeezing and pulling.
Pressing
Pressing the trigger.
He's a pro.
And so I took that to heart, and I took a lot of
Dweebs.
practice of like dry fire rounds and all that kind of stuff at the house, and just try to really work on, because I love bow hunting to start. I mean, that's my favorite. I love shooting my bow, tuning my bows, all that kind of stuff. And so I just kind of took that into the rifle aspect. And so I felt really comfortable. My rest was really good, had a good level on my bubble and all that. And just, I got him in my scope. He was quartered away, and I just put it on him and just exhaled and just pressed that trigger and went off. But it was right at the ridge line, and the sun was going down. So as soon as I shot, even though like I didn't really come off him that much, it was enough to put a glare in my scope. And I was like, it looked like it hit, but I was just like, dang.
Yeah.
And Linz was like, he's down. And I was like,
Here
You
we
sent
go.
me the digiscope footage. You made an absolute phenomenal
was an
perfect
awesome
shot on that
shot.
deer.
yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Is that pretty classic looking too? Like you
Yeah.
said, you wanted that cool mountain thing, burn, like
Yeah.
snow, like
That was really cool.
And so that's when the real adventure starts. So, I mean, you're talking, I'm shooting cross canyon, and then I was like, okay, cool. And then
Look
it's like
down.
this, looking
Yeah.
down. You know, we've got 800 down, another 800 back up just to get to him. But I mean, that was just all part of it, and it was just awesome. And then trying to find him once you get over there. So another times, you know, it's like that steep, and you're like, shoot, he kind of rolled this way, and
Yep.
looked like he landed by that log, but was it?
But that log looks the same.
Did you
But
use the rangefinder
I did.
tool?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I
drop
did
the
use
pin.
it, and so it actually put us within 15 yards of
Yeah.
finding him. Used it. I was like, okay, so we shot from here and trying to figure out. So I was like, he's like right at 670, and I think, you know, looking at my maps, like if it's this knob, it should be positioned. It should be like right in here. Should be where he fell down at. And sure enough, I think I pinned exactly where I shot him at, and he had rolled about 15 yards
Yeah.
down.
Give,
I mean,
give
it
us
was
a quick
right
rundown
there.
rangefinder tool. Just for, I mean, we've talked about it before, but give us a quick. We've noted it a couple times, but for
Yeah.
somebody that's potentially new to it,
yeah. So the rangefinder tool to me is like it's a multi-use tool. You can use it, like you said, you can use it stalking an animal for archery. You can use it for marking a kill location. But basically, so every time let's say this situation, you shot an animal. So I like to mark exactly where I killed that animal.
you're talking on your go.
Where on the GOHUNT maps, right where I shot it. So right there, I'll mark it.
Let's break it down
Google Maps. mark
From
him
the
up.
beginning.
Okay.
from the beginning.
Okay. Yep. So I know. Okay. Let's say what was your distance?
670.
670. So you pull up the map. On the right side, it'll be a toolbar. Depending on how you set it up, I have my toolbar stuff on the right. You tap the little plus icon. It'll pop up a little section. You tap on rangefinder. So it's going to open up a rangefinder. So basically, it's taking your little blue dot location. It's going to plot a line in a straight line where your phone is facing. And then face your phone where you shot the animal from. Yep. So then you're going to, if you didn't know the range or whatever, you would just pull up a rangefinder and range 670, but you knew the range is 670. So you're going to zoom out. So you go a little bit past 670 yards. I usually go like 750, 800 in this situation. And then you're lining that where it needs to be. You tap the yardage in there. So you enter 670. Now it's going to have a little reference pin on that line out in front of you on your phone. So you're like basically looking. I like to use satellite imagery for this too, but you can use topo as well. Topo sometimes is really valuable. I'll switch back and forth and double check it's in the same spot. So now when I have that waypoint set at 670, now I'm holding my phone in my right hand, moving it back and forth, looking at the terrain, and I'm looking up at the terrain of the hillside to exactly where it's at and where it's exactly going to be. I'll tap and mark it. So that means now that is where that buck is potentially dead because I had the yardage. I knew where it was at. And then now you have a reference. That's what's key because now you have that reference point, like he's saying. So now I'll mark exactly where I killed or shot from. And now I have the reference point of the animal. So now you have a greater chance to find it. Let's say it's dark out and you're going to drop down that canyon and come all the way up. Like now it's pitch black out. How are you going to find where this animal is
Well,
at?
it was, and that was my biggest worry. Is just
Yeah.
like, dang, it's getting dark. Like I don't want to not be able to find this deer.
Yeah.
Just
And you-
because it was dark.
Yeah, so now you have that reference. Like I said, I walked up on, one of the raghorn bulls I killed a couple years ago. Same situation. It was like 15, 20 yards away from it. So instantly you can find, you're not wasting your time going up and down trying to find it. But also I've used it to help kill animals. I've been able to like, all right, the animal is right there. He's 1,400 yards away. I'm going to mark that spot. And now I'm going to take a line measurement tool after I use the rangefinder and line measure from that spot where I think that buck is to all these little ridge lines around there. Because I'm trying to find the distance, closest distance I could get to make a shot. So like, if I get to that ridge, it's 700 too far. But if I get to this one over here, it's 400. So now I'll mark that waypoint as well. So now I'll try to shoot around, get around that ridge. And I know if I get there, the buck's somewhere down below me. I'm within kill
Right.
distance, and now I can try to relocate that buck and take a perfect shot.
I think a mistake a lot of people make, and I've made it a lot of times, is not marking where you shoot from.
Yeah.
Like not dropping that pin. Because then you're like, well, I was right over there, and I think we were about right in here. And then you're trying to range find it, where when you mark where you shoot from, you can just go to that spot and like go to waypoint. Like,
Yeah.
oh, no, I'm only 580 yards here, you know? And that was that's something that I did a lot this year that I hadn't done in past years, is just mark where you shot from. Because
Yeah.
then you're always kind of wondering a little bit. You think, oh, I was laid by this bush, but
Yeah, and like back in the day, I was take photos, and we always know how that goes. Like you take a photo, like, oh, there's a burnt log hanging across with a white one
Yeah,
sticking straight up. You get over there, like,
exactly.
oh, there's 100 of those.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Brady lost me a long time ago. I'm a straight blackout in the moment. I don't care if it's 100 or 600. Like I just straight blackout, don't remember anything,
Yeah.
and I just want to walk right towards the animal, and I never find it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's been a long time of my life of that.
Me
so
too.
now that rangefinder, it's like a sole use for me.
Yep.
It's like mark where I shot, make sure I mark that, and then I black out and go at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, but that I've really had to focus on just a
Oh, me
little
too.
thing.
I'm like, you shoot one, especially if you see it go down. I'm just like, all right, I'm
I'm
gonna get
straight
it.
blackout mode.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
have you used it bow hunting at all, Trill? Making a stock? You haven't yet?
No, I'm old school.
Old school. Wind, a little wind, judgment.
Yeah.
Doesn't even take a wind checker. He
Yeah, I
just-
haven't. I'll take pictures. I've done that, and I'll take a photo of it, drop a pin. I do a lot for like landmarks. I take a long time to like look at an animal through the scope and like observe different landmarks. Is there a dead tree? How close is that animal from dead tree or whatever landmark that it is? But no, I pretty well put the old phone away.
Just
so
go
essential.
straight predator.
Yeah, that's it.
He
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
he knows where to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rangefinder tool. Key,
Key.
get it, use it, and be more successful.
How was the pack out?
It wasn't actually terrible. We were about 5.5 miles in, but it was all downhill back. Besides, we had to go over one peak, like where the buck was, to go up the ridge, kind of skirt around, then drop back down the canyon. We'd came up, but I mean, other than that, it took us some time just with the
It was
distance.
icy because it
It
had
was a
been
little
getting
icy
warm.
because it had been like warm in the day, then cold at night.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we left the buck at like 6:30 at night, and we were back to the truck by almost 10:30 or so. Just taking our time to get back. We boned it out there, and so we just packed it out one trip whole, and
It's the beauty of a deer.
yeah,
That's why
That's
they're
what's nice.
superior.
yeah, it
animal.
is. That part definitely is.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
pack
so
out's a
that,
lot
that
nicer.
pack out actually wasn't terrible. It was the pack out 2 days later on Lindsey's buck when we got back to Montana that sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we left Colorado, and we get back that night, and I knew I still had 3 days off of work left, and I was like, because she had mentioned like there's some hot springs she wanted to go check out around there. Because even though she loves to hunt, she does also like doing things like that as well.
stuff,
and me,
yeah.
That's fun.
I was-
adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd been on the
See
hunt,
something
my
new.
hunt, and so I was like, do you want to go spend? We can go check these hot springs out, or we have 3 days, and we can try to go fill your Montana deer tag. No hesitation. She's like, let's go film a Montana deer tag. I was like, sweet. And so we just packed up that night, and I was looking on maps because I was like, we're already so far from home. Let's go try to hunt another part of Montana we'd never been to. And so we did. We got up next morning super early, loaded up, and just headed north. And then went and scouted that night, found like 10, 12 deer, not really super promising. I was like, dang, not again. And so then we set up camp. We were just kind of scouring maps. Normally, this was our go-to, just sitting in the tent trying to figure out the next day. And lately, that's not how I normally like to do it. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, felt weird not having a plan. But I was like, I think if we go here this next morning, there's not going to be a lot of guys in here. I think if we get in on the spot, we can hike in and do some glassing. And I thought I found the perfect glassing knob. When we get there next morning, we spot 4 deer. And I'm like, man, this
Not
is
good.
tough.
A killer sunrise.
Yeah, it was
Killer.
killer sunrise. And then we're just getting ready to head out, and I was just like, I'm just going to go up to this little bit taller peak and glass this one spot, and I see a group of deer that are about 2.5 miles away. And I was like, oh, that's a good buck. And so I pulled the glass up, and I let Lynn see it because it was her hunt. I was like, that a buck you want to go after? And she was instantly like, yeah, I'll at least get closer to it. And so this time, since they were far enough away, I couldn't really get like a rangefinder to kind of reference. So I'm like trying to use a rangefinder and reference it. I was like, I think this is where they're at. And so I pin it. And so we head down to it, and it's eastern Montana, so it's not like big mountains, but the coulees are steep. You're gonna have almost straight up and down coulees to go to. So we go, and I'm like, okay, if we go up this ridge here, they'll just be right over here. And so sure enough, it's a bomber of a ridge, and we're going up it, and Linz and I had split up. She didn't like the direction I was headed. She thought she knew a better route. And how'd that work out for you?
Fight on the mountain.
Not well.
I get up to the top and I'm like looking around, so I'm ahead of her and I look over and I realize that we were one ridge short. Like we needed to go one more, and I was like, crap.
That's the
I'm like,
thing about that country is it
Yeah.
all looks the same.
exactly.
And it's never
Yeah,
ending.
that
Yeah.
Badlandy stuff is so fun to hunt, but it just all
It's
blends.
never
And it
ending.
looks the
Yeah.
same.
So I'm looking around and I'm like, where is Lindsay at? And no cell or anything like that. And walking up and down the ridge, can't find her. And all of a sudden I just see her. She's just sweating.
Yeah.
And she's like, I fell down the hill and rolled. And I was like, God, that sucks. I was like, but you know what sucks worse is
Sucks to suck.
we've got to go
Yeah,
down.
pretty much.
Yeah, I was like, we got to go down. Well, because at that point I was like, if you would have just followed me, we would have been fine. But
I'm over here trying to gain some independence, and now I'm like, never mind. That stuff's for losers.
and I was like, well, we've got to go down this back and back up the next one if you still want to try to get him. And at this point in my head, it had been quite some time. I'm like, he's not going to be there. Like he was rutting does hard. I was like, but they're not going to be there. And so we go down, we come back up, and sure enough, they're there, like right where we had left them. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. And so it was a little further. Like Linz, she hadn't shot quite as much as me, so we wanted to make sure we got her a little closer than what I had shot at, and kept ranging and just worked out. The wind was perfect. We could work behind this ridge and get closer, and got her within effective range. She shot, or she could shoot, and I was like, whenever you're ready. Like this buck is kind of pushing does, and they're about to get ready to go up and over this ridge. I'm assuming just bed down for the day, and I was like, if you want to shoot him, go ahead. And all of a sudden, about time I could get that out, just poof, when I had the binos up, she has the SIG image stabilizer, and I was just watching, and I could just see it just boom, nail him, and I was like,
Nice.
awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and so we get down there to him, and I was like, oh, this will be easy pack out, but just the pack in the couple of days before wears on the guy just enough, and you're just like, dang,
Yep.
I'm a little tired.
We were also just so unprepared for success that day.
Oh yeah, we had like no water and just we were like,
Sounds
'cause
about
we
right.
I was
had
still
we hadn't
wearing my
hiked in
wool
that far,
socks
yeah, we hadn't
from-
hiked in that far from the truck on our original glassing spot, and so we planned if we didn't see them, we were just going to drive somewhere else, and then just happened to spot them far enough away. They're like, oh, let's just go for it. And something that I thought would be back to the truck by no later than 11 o'clock. I think we got back there about 4:45 that night.
Yeah.
And
It was a lot of fun.
always fun though.
Sounds like the trip of all trips. in a
It
sense.
does,
Yeah.
Like,
really.
It was.
the mule deer sabbatical.
I think we've been chasing something like that probably since your first archery elk, which
Mhm.
back then was just such an adventure for us.
Oh yeah.
The first time we did that.
She was with
so
me the first time I shot a bull with my bow, and it was her first real
Called it
hunt.
in.
She borrowed her dad's pack, and it was an Everly sock that was way too big for her and all that, and it was just an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of miles packing it out and stuff, and I think that was like what solidified her really wanting to, just her love for it, and that's always what we're just after no more than anything is, yeah, we want to kill the awesome critters, but just that adventure of like, remember that trip.
Is there anything you learned or would do differently on your Colorado hunt? Because like out of state, do you like gear wise or
When you're 30 minutes from home and your wife's like, hey, we forgot your license, we should probably turn around. I think you should probably turn around.
30 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think so. It sounds like arrogant or cocky saying that, but I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, reality, we hunted for a day and a half, and I got to shoot a great buck, and I really just think that pays into a lot of, you got to spend the time before you go. You've got to research your units. You've got to, even like on like the Filter 2.0, scroll to the bottom of the unit, read guys' comments, learn like, I mean, don't even have to ask questions. You can just read through them, and you can learn, oh, this was way thicker than they thought. Or, I mean, guys are pretty good with information, because a lot of people, that's a once every 5 years are going to get to go out west, or once every 10 years. So they're pretty cool with putting like, hey, I hunted here and I didn't see anything, or I went in this far and all I saw, and there was horse camps everywhere. And just that kind of helped narrow it down for me, is we don't have stock or anything. So you in your head, you're thinking, man, you should really like going deep's going to be, but you pull up to a trailhead and there's 8 horse trailers there. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, these guys are going to be deep. And then most guys are going to only stick within that mile and have to 2 miles from the truck. So if you're willing just to stretch it out to 4 or 5 miles and then kind of hunt that in, I think you can find a lot of success. And I think you just can't overlook, like, there's just so many, like, people just like, they drive to a trailhead and they're just like, oh, there's so many people here, I'm like, not worth hunting. But I just don't think that's true. I just think you gotta kind of think around what everyone else is thinking. And I think that's just what we did with Colorado, and that's just my biggest takeaway, is just still just, we didn't change our hunting tactics much from how we hunt here. It's just a different location.
I think that's what's cool about deer too, is when there's 2 of you, there's really nowhere you can't go. I mean, when you have an elk tag and limited amount of time, you're always thinking about like, how are we going to get this elk out of here? How many trips is it going to take us? And just things like that. I mean, you have a deer hunt, and you're like, there's nowhere we can't go because we can just throw this on our backs and get it out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has to hunt with a female, so there's no one trip in an elk for us.
I don't think there's one trip in an elk for anybody.
There's a lot of guys that try for sure.
Yeah,
They
I've
might
done
leave
it.
some
I wouldn't
stuff
recommend
behind.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for work, if you don't mind me asking?
No.
Go ahead.
I would say for a long time we used to work together, building houses, and then the last 6 months we just moved and he became a ranch hand.
Yeah, I work on a ranch,
Where'd you move to?
Wilsaw, Montana.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful area. It's a spot with my friend. He's the ranch manager there, and we always go visit, and we loved it. And we did construction for her dad, and then he retired, and so we went and I actually worked for an outdoor apparel company for a year, just doing road sales for them, and it was a lot of fun. It just wasn't. I don't know. We just wasn't really for us, you know.
Yeah.
And I felt like at that point it kind of transitioned to how we thought about hunting. Like they wanted us to get content and all that kind of stuff, and it put an pressure on us that we'd never had before. We felt like it was a job to be out there hunting. That before
We can relate sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
it just almost takes a little bit of the joy out of it, and it's cool. Like so, but we got good cameras, got to be able to take pictures and things like that. But it just kind of sucked that out of it, and so that ended, and we went home and we started doing projects together. Like we loved building, we loved working with each other. I mean, been really blessed. We hunt together, we work together. Just
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of guys get as lucky as I have to have like literally like everybody says my best friend's our wife, but no, like literally my best friend is my wife. Person I want to spend all my time with and do everything
Yeah.
with. And then I had an opportunity. We were doing that for a while, building, and the building is just way different than it used to be. You know, it's just hard to count on
Where we
people.
lived
and-
at is growing like crazy too, and we were just craving something smaller. We
Mm-hmm.
both grew up in that area, small. I mean, it wasn't, Brady knows, it wasn't podunk before, but it definitely wasn't the size it is now. And it's just grown so much, we were just craving something different. So when that
Okay.
opportunity kind of came up.
Yeah, we went over to saw my friend for Memorial Day weekend, and he was just talking about, man, I could just really use another guy out here on the ranch. And on the way home, I was like, we always hate going home from here. Like, what do you think? So the next day I called him, told him, I was like, I don't need an answer now. You've been one of my best friends since we moved to Montana. Just think about it. Because I know like hiring a friend, that's hard too. Like you don't want to
for sure.
mess that relationship up. So I wasn't going to put any pressure, but if he wanted to, and then took about 2.5, 3 weeks of us just kind of talking about it. He wanted to lay it all out. He's like, ranching's different, man. Like you're here. Like I know you guys love to hunt. That was always his biggest worry. He's like, you guys love to hunt. You love to be gone. I want to make sure you know. And I was like, I'm kind of ready just for something different. And so we took that job, and now I work on a ranch there, and it's busy. You work a lot, but it's one of the most fulfilling jobs I've ever had.
How many days would you say you get off to actually go hunting now?
My 5 days I got to go to Colorado.
That was it.
That was it.
5 days.
Yep. And
You
then
get the
I mean, you
weekend
get a
here,
week, like
there.
a week, if you could scratch like a day and a weekend, but a lot of it was like even elk hunting. I was lucky enough to get a bull with my bow, but I could bomb out for an evening, or if I had a morning off,
Yeah.
things like that. But maybe one day on a weekend. You're just busy.
Yeah.
It's just hard. Like now, like I get to be here this week and hang out with Brady because the wintertime I just get to feed cows, and it kind of lays down a little bit work wise and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, there's always something to be done on the ranch.
Yeah.
And when the weather's good, you want to take advantage of it. And I've learned, and it's just a lifestyle, and you got to be willing to accept that part
Well,
of
that's
it.
the typical side. I mean, I think we take for granted a lot of the times that like we do hunt for work, you know what I mean? And what we talk about and how we talk about it, it's not necessarily normal.
Yeah.
No.
Right? Because we get enough
No,
days to
we've-
do certain things, and like you guys are living the normal, what I
Right.
would say is the normal
Yeah.
hunting life, right?
Yeah, it was 180. We went from just last year hunting. We stopped doing shows on the opening of Antelope and did not stop hunting until everything closed after Christmas. And then we actually were still trying to squeeze stuff in after that, going after cats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then now this year, I mean, I think in total probably 10 days of like hunting from morning till dark, if even.
And
It's
that's
hard.
with the weekends and everything.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that's
it
the
was really
typical-
different.
But
I would
it
say that's
it added in how much more important it was to like really dial in my e-scouting and just
Yeah.
spend the time I had in the evenings. If it was dark, I couldn't hunt, but just hunt on my computer, which sounds wild to say, but I mean, kind of get things figured out and just
Yeah.
really dial it. Because in the past we have had time, and there's been years we've squandered time. Because I think all guys are like, oh, time's what it takes, and sometimes you take your time for
too much.
granted.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, oh, I've got 30 days to hunt elk, and next thing you know, like, shoot, I've only got 4 days left in my season. Where did that time go? And you kind of just forget that, and you squander it a little bit. You can almost try to treat it as a whole marathon, and even though like in that still like hunting every day is still a sprint. Even if you have a lot of time, you still just got to be hustling every day trying to figure it out and never just kind of coasting along.
Yep.
But I'm an accountant. That's what I do now.
An accountant
Yeah.
from outside to inside.
Yeah.
And she's actually been working
Yeah.
while she's
I'm
been
working
here
on
in
this
Lake
trip.
Wilson.
Yeah, I'm new to it, so.
How's he gonna ranch from down here?
Yeah, exactly.
They got digital ranching, right?
No.
For
Like,
sure.
you
It's
can't
a
push
little
a button,
farm
the
bill.
cows get fed.
I don't think
Send out
so.
those little robots and just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the typical, right, weekend warrior and maybe one hunt out of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
But what it does show the importance of is, you know, finding the hunt that you want and then just kind of using the time to your advantage. I actually, a lot of the times too, when you go into a hunt, or at least for me, I can only speak for myself, but when you go into a hunt more focused on a shortened amount of days, it almost makes it, I've been more successful like that, I feel
Yeah,
like.
work a little harder.
You know?
Us, yeah.
I feel like when it's just that set time, I've been more successful.
Us too. And I was really blessed. Like Lynn's with me getting the Colorado tag this year, she was, which for me was unacceptable, but she was like, if I don't kill a deer this year, that's cool. Like that's going to be your hunt. And I was
Yeah.
just like, not going to happen. Then we were blessed that it was able to work out like it did. Like I didn't want her to not, cause she loves it a lot, but she's willing to, you know, we didn't get to hunt I hunted elk hard for me this year because the last few years I've had friends come or like helped Lynn's get bulls, things like that. And so this year I was going to be selfish a little bit with my archery time. And I think she packed her bow one day, 0 days.
There
And
we go.
then we did go out, we did sneak away opening day rifle for a chance for her to go try to find a bull and just found one, just couldn't make it happen on it. But
That's cool though, knowing that you're going to have a short season this year and you still did the out of state thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no replacement for the new experience though.
There isn't.
I love going new places.
no, I
It's the
mean,
best part.
we're already like looking at what we're trying to figure out what we're going to do for this next year. You
Yeah.
know, like Lynn started 2 years ago, really figuring out, looking into like, okay, buying points. And that's what she does like. She figured out when all the deadlines were, what it was going to cost us each year and just buying points so we can have these more adventure and just higher quality type hunts than
Yeah.
we've gotten in past. I will say that Montana is a great state for opportunity, but as quality, I mean, there's definitely better states out there that we wanted to go try and have big goals. And now, especially when you only have a limited amount of time, you want to set yourself up for success as best you can.
Yeah.
And you might have to spend a little more time driving, but for the adventure, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You're sharing memories together too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
all
of memories
fun.
of Lynn's napping in the truck.
Yeah. I'm good at sleeping, that's for sure.
That's awesome.
What do you got for us, Trail?
I'm good. I'm listening. I got questions at the end, but they're just you got more.
No, it's just questions. Like I've asked.
No, I'm go ahead
No,
with this.
nope.
Stuff. Yeah, my questions are for Lindsay, I guess. I'm just curious as to like equipment setup. Like,
What you got?
I mean, what do you? Are there like your bow setup?
Yeah, I shoot a Matthews. I've never been one for specifically getting a women's bow or not a women's bow. The first bow I got was a Hoyt Defiant.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. I love that thing. And then Will spoiled me this last year and got me a new Matthews. What is it? The
V3X.
V3X.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
What kind of draw weight are you shooting?
I'm at, I think, 58 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get above 60. I shot my bull at 52, I think.
Maybe. yeah.
Maybe. And I shot him at 30 yards pass through. So
What kind
I
of
don't know. I
broadhead?
just think you need to be confident with it. Obviously, I think as females, especially with lower poundage, like you just need to be a little bit more strategic about your shots. But
Mm-hmm.
I've never not felt confident with my bow, so I've never been really worried about it.
She's being humble. She's a great shot with her bow.
She's a phenomenal shot.
That's one of my most fun parts too. Is like once she really got into it, is having someone that like shooting with her, and she's just shoots probably better than me, honestly, on a regular basis, naturally.
Are there broadhead? Like, what do you shoot for broadhead? Arrow, do you know?
VPAs.
Yeah, three blade.
Three
Yeah.
blade fixed VPAs.
Gotcha. Is there any equipment out there that you're like, yeah, I wish they made that women specific? I mean,
I
how
mean,
do you-
every piece of clothing
Really?
probably. I mean,
what do
it's
you
just,
use?
At this point, just a mixture between men's Sitka, some women's Sitka. I'd like to try the QU new stuff. We worked for Forlo, so I had a lot of Forlo stuff. I'd like to try Kings. It's just everything. It's hard. Everything I think at some point is at the beginning stages, anyways, is the lower end of your men's stuff. But I get it. I mean, after we worked in the industry, you're talking about such a small percentage of people are going to be buying your women's clothes. It's hard to put a lot of money into it. But man, I would just die for a couple more women's cuts with some Sitka gear for
Right.
sure.
Are there pieces of equipment, like whether it's like little creature comforts, like warm clothing or anything like that, that you tend to pack that Wilson doesn't? Like
I
your-
definitely pack way more clothes than he does. That's for sure. A lot more like big fuzzy socks for sleeping, especially backpacking. Way more hand warmers.
Mm.
Putting hot water in the Nalgene at night. I feel bad, but he probably could sleep the night without having the stove at some points of the year, and I'm just like, can you put more wood in the fire?
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. I get cold, but I don't know. I can think of I think that was 2 years ago. Shot a whitetail in Montana. My feet were so cold that I actually took my feet out of my boots and put them in his pockets of his coat, and hopped off of that and shot the buck like a couple minutes later.
Was that snowstorm one?
No, that was the year after we shot mule deer at the same day, a couple minutes apart.
That was tough.
That was
We-
a horrible idea.
Negative 20 last year, and we doubled up on bucks.
Yeah,
And we packed them out in one trip.
yeah,
The two
that
of
was
us,
a
that
bad
was hard.
idea. That was the first time I'd ever been like truly delirious. It was so
Yeah.
cold we couldn't eat anything because all of our snacks froze. Like even the snacks that didn't have liquid in them were rocks. And we got to the bottom of the hill after probably like 2 miles of hiking, and there was a tree on the corner, and I was like, maybe this guy could help us like take a little bit of our load. I bet you he'd help out. At this point it's like so far after dark, there's nobody out there, and we get around that corner and it's just a tree, and I was just like, he's walking towards us, we could ask him. And I was just, we were
At that
lost.
point, when
That's a
she
good
told
one.
me that, I was like, all right, we're dropping the packs. We're just getting out of here. We can
Yeah,
come
it was-
back tomorrow for it. But
It was very rough, but that was another fun memory.
yeah, another fun.
I pack a pillow. I definitely have a way nicer sleeping pad than he does. There's definitely like some luxuries there. He's always taking care of me with like the nicer sleeping bag, the nicer things when we can only afford something.
Gotcha. I'm curious, like, what advice would you give to a female that's wanting to get involved in hunting? Because it is like mostly male dominated, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I remember the first time, so this would have been, God, I'm trying to think how old I am, but it had to have been, I was in college at Utah State, and I remember I had a spike archery elk tag, and we had a couple of spikes that we'd been hunting in this little drainage, and I remember sitting on this little knoll. It was like mid-afternoon, waiting for evening, kind of waiting for these spikes to come out, and I looked down the ridge, and I could see 2 hunters coming up the ridge, and I just kind of crept back into the timber, thought, I'll just let them kind of skirt by. And I remember walking up, and it was two women together hunting, camo, bows, the whole nine. And I
That's
remember
awesome.
this is probably, God, it had to have been 20 some years ago. But I remember thinking at that time, like, that was the most odd thing I'd seen in
Yeah.
ages, like 2 women out bow hunting together. And I remember thinking, man, that is weird. Like,
We
what
still
is
see that now sometimes, 2 gals heading out, and I'm just like, good for you.
much more so now.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would say way more so. But I remember thinking at the time it was a notable enough experience that I went home and told buddies. I'm like, you guys aren't gonna believe what I ran into. Like, I
Yeah.
ran into 2 women out bow hunting on their own. You know what I mean? Which was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just an anomaly, right? Back then, I think it's much more common now. But even still, there's way more men involved in hunting
Yeah.
than women. Like, I mean, what would you say to like women that are trying to get into hunting, even if it's on their own? Like, what do you have any piece of advice?
Yeah, I think there's multiple things. One is guys love to teach. Don't be afraid to be taught. There's something to be said about a couple women who've never done it before grabbing some bows and heading out, but there's also a ton of guys and gals that have like a lot of great information. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know what I'm doing. There's so many factors to this, and just finding somebody who's willing to help you. Obviously, don't get help from a creep. Don't go out in the woods with someone you
Yeah.
don't know. But if you can find out,
I'm really just seeing Charlie pointing at me about the creek thing.
if Brady sends you a message, decline. I'm just kidding. Yeah, finding a good support system. It's really hard if you do not come from it. Guys, girls, everybody. It's so hard to learn. So yeah, be willing to be taught is a big one. Be willing to be emotional. I think that was something I had to learn, but I think I've cried after I've shot anything, and that's just part of being a woman. I think it's an emotional thing, whether it went perfect or not the way I planned. We're just different that way, probably. And then really ask yourself like why you want to do it. And once you figure that why out, hunting isn't the only way to like build your portfolio of all your skills, and just do those things as much as possible. If you can only get one hunt, but you and your friends love to go camping, like camp and then add to that camping. Do things a little harder. Take your bow and your target and shoot your bow when you go hunting, and just do more things like that. And just, I had to make it my everything. I don't know if I could have done it otherwise. It has to be the reason that I do everything from waking up to going to bed. But that's just because it's really hard. And if I'm going to eventually get to a point where I can get away and do a solo hunt and do it all by myself, like, that's going to take a long time to build that confidence. I don't like being out in the dark alone. I don't like doing a lot of those things. And the hunting is like 25% of it. And then just keeping yourself alive is 75% of it. And we don't have the compass in our balls, as I always tell Wilson he has. We don't have that. So it just takes a lot of practice. It's go easy on yourself, kill a lot of stuff, kill bunnies, kill ducks, kill whatever that you're allowed to. But yeah, I think just find your why. It's hard. We don't have all the equipment. We don't have a lot of clothing options. Wear some guys' stuff. But once you figure out your why, it seems like there's no turning back and you'll figure it out. Yeah.
Crushed it.
That was a damn
Crushed
good
it.
answer.
That was.
That was a really good answer.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love the fact that you said don't be afraid to be taught.
Yeah.
Like, and I can imagine, like, you go to a local archery range and, league night, it's all dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, in my opinion, for a dude to walk in there that's new to archery and just say, hey, here I am, teach me. But
Yeah.
I could see it being that much more intimidating for a woman. But people are generally, I would say I've tried to offer advice. I know these guys are as well, but like, just be okay with asking.
Yeah,
and
be okay with
that's
not
an
knowing.
That's an awesome answer.
And be okay with messing up because you're
Mhm.
going to so much. I mean, we all are. You're going to mess up a lot.
For sure.
Ask why you messed up. Something that you have gotten really good about is like, which way would you want to go, or how do you want to handle this when we do have the time in the moment? And I notice a lot that I'm like, oh, you actually want me to like make a choice here, and then I have to think through it. And a lot of the time he's like, and you have to be like, why? Why is that not the option? Why is that a bad answer? And it's hard to be wrong a lot, all the time. But
Welcome to hunting.
but it's part of it. And then one day you'll make the right decision. Or I remember, that day that we shot both those bucks in the double, I picked the spot on the map. We hadn't having luck, and he was like, you just pick a spot. And I was like, okay, I really want to go here, and I think it'd be great. And yeah, we got the 2 bucks, and that felt really, really good. Or when I shot my buck out of the tree stand, I've been shooting arrows, so many arrows, and feeling so confident on that shot. Eventually it comes together and you're like, okay, I'm meant for this. Like, I was meant to do this.
Mhm.
I'm going to do this. But it takes a long time to get there.
I think too is don't be afraid to invest in like hunting knowledge. Like Linz and I, we've gone to 2 of Lamper's summits now, but looking at her compared to maybe myself, but even a lot of guys, generals, I think girls are great learners. They're great note takers. Like looking at Lindsay's notebook coming from that versus myself, and it's just like she came from those with so much more knowledge than I would recite back to her notes. And I think that people just shouldn't be afraid to, guys as well, but a lot of females, just like find something like that. Like go to
Found a great community out of it too.
Yeah, I mean, and go to or Lamper's hunting summits and just learn and just soak it in, take your notes.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many options for things like that nowadays, even online sources like you guys have your outdoor class and all of that. Is just don't be afraid to dive into the learning aspect of it. I mean, yes, trial and error, but there's so many ways to like go into it feeling more confident.
Yeah.
And I think you take
Women
it-
have a really good way of no ego when they're
Yeah.
being told
Yeah.
something. Men will always like fight it and like the ego
Yeah,
takes
I'm
over.
only half listening.
Yeah,
to what people say.
I
Like,
wouldn't do
probably
that.
know.
Well, they
I
are,
already
like-
know. I would.
Yeah,
I already know.
wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I did some coaching when I was younger, and I always enjoyed coaching girls over boys because they'll just sit there and like
They'll
look
drop
at you
the
and
ego.
learn.
Yeah.
And they just want to learn and want to be better, and will come up to you like, why am I not doing as well? They don't have that ego, and I think that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a big thing is just soak up being the anomaly. Like, guys want to see you have success. Guys want to see gals out in the field. There's not like I don't want females out there or anything like that. You go to the bow shop, they're gonna see 10 guys in line and see you, and they're gonna want to help you because you're the anomaly as the female. And I think just soak that up, because I mean, we are spoiled that way. I mean, people are gonna want to help you have success. I'm talking about those summits. I mean, all those guys that went to that just spoke so much confidence into me and made me feel so good that when I ask questions, they're like, that's a dang good question. And we're just like, hey, I think you're going to have a lot of success. I mean, Robbie Denning, when we went, was just like, I'm going to see you in 10 years killing some bucks like none of us have ever seen. And I'll never forget that. That made me feel so good. And I'm not saying you would have said that to a guy, but I think just going in and having a bunch of questions and being the anomaly, people pay attention and they want to help you a lot because it is a little bit harder.
Yeah. The whole being wrong thing too, like, man, that is what hunting is. I mean, you're wrong 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
But it's
9.5 probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that half a time we're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
and then
hell.
remember, like, why did that work again? Hopefully I can
It's-
remember.
Complete happenstance.
Shoot,
That's
another
why.
9 and 10
Yeah.
and those times it wasn't
Exactly.
anything you did.
And then you
Yeah.
try to replicate it and it's like, well, that was
That
complete
didn't work at
opposite.
all.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the being wrong thing. It's like nobody likes to be wrong, but man, hunting will humble you in that a lot
And
of
once
different
you
ways.
accept being wrong,
Yeah.
you're wrong less.
Yeah.
Not a lot less, but a little less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, T-Rail?
I'm good. That was great. I appreciate
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay nailed it.
Yeah, she's perfect. I knew she would.
Thanks,
She's
guys.
a killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should hit us with the promo code here
Are we-
coming up. I think.
Oh, we dropped the promo, huh?
Yeah,
We were supposed to do that in the
We
beginning.
No,
We didn't hit promo?
No,
We're
we were
talking
too busy
about
talking about Uber.
self-driving
We were-
cars.
Ubers
We
and
promoted
self-driving
Uber
cars.
I
instead.
thought
Yeah.
for sure we hit promo.
No.
Give the people what they want.
Okay. Promo code podcast. Let me hit this first. You can use the promo code podcast. You can sign up for a GoHunt Insider account, which we've talked about today. Help you do your research. We're in the middle of research season. We're in the middle of app season. So now is definitely the time that you want to sign up and get an insider account so that you can do the research and go on an out-of-state hunt like Wilson and Lindsay have. So use that promo code podcast. We're going to give you 50 points back in the Go Hunt Gear Shop. 1 point's $1. You can use that towards the purchase of any equipment that you want in the shop. And also, as of today, if you're listening to this, insiders are going to get 2 times points back on all their purchases in the gear shop, excluding Swarovski. But everything else, I've been told that we're 2 times points, which means you get double the points on your purchases. So use that promo code podcast. How was that? How'd I do?
That's good.
I nailed
You should have
it?
done that at the beginning, though.
Nailed it.
Beautiful.
We'll
can-
cut it
we-
and put it in
we'll
the
cut
beginning.
Oh,
Cut.
I have a few more questions, but I just wanted to get that one out of the way.
My bad. I totally spaced it. And I'm supposed to be the guy that knows that shit, and I don't.
We all spaced it.
It's supposed to be the first 20 minutes, but 93, that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Even Wilson knows when we're supposed to drop it at the
You
beginning.
guys
Bring it,
literally don't drop it right every podcast, and so you're always like, man, we're supposed to do that in the first 20 minutes.
That
so.
just shows you how bad we are.
It might be calculated.
Hey, that's it. You have to listen to the end now. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope you guys listen to the end because you got that good promo
That
code.
good.
That good. Dream hunts. What you guys got? What would be your dream hunt, Lindsay and then Wilson?
no, you go ahead.
Oh, me go ahead.
Yeah.
I would love to actually Lorenzo's hunt this fall. A stone sheep with a bow would just be pretty rad. I like shooting stuff with my rifle, and I like shooting a rifle, but at the end of the day, I always pick my bow up, and just something about hunting with my bow. And that's just, when I say dream hunt, because I feel like it's a little bit unobtainable. I mean, it's gonna be way down the line if I get to do it, but that would just be a freaking awesome hunt.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is hard. Probably caribou in Alaska. I just think caribou are so weird, and they're just so cool. I love sheds, so I like the idea of like also finding a bunch of sheds while we're out, just making a heck of an adventure out of it. So that's what I'm gonna have to go with. I think caribou in Alaska.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That
with
was
a
a good
bow.
one. Mine's whitetail out of a tree stand.
Yeah. Yeah. Brady, you got a dream hunt on the books this year?
This year?
On the books this
I
year,
think
huh?
Brady knocked all of them off in 1 year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
In a
Yeah.
13-month span, Brady has knocked off all of them.
Yeah.
I've been on a wild ride. It's pretty crazy to say. Pretty crazy to think about what I've done in my life. Dream hunt for me. The only thing I can think of is hunting tur in Azerbaijan.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
WTF.
I just I love that the international. Like I'm addicted now in a way. Like it's like they said. Like you go sheep hunting once, you just want to go sheep hunting again. You know, like I just want to go chase a crazy mountain adventure, and that's
You
what
should
it
call
was to
him
me.
the bougie hunter. Because he's
Yeah.
just like, I like that out-of-state experience, that out-of-country experience.
That's
I
just
want to try
roasting me.
coffee from different places.
To have her on.
Yeah, we
I know,
definitely
I
do.
agree.
Keeps everyone in line. But I just think a place like that is just those mountains over there.
Yeah.
Ooh, you ever
I
seen a
would
tur?
like to hunt Hawaii. I think that would be a lot of fun. Go like hunting some warm weather and hunt multiple different types of animals. Do a little fishing. Like that'd just be a fun trip to go on. But
Gotcha.
They call that a surf and turf.
yeah,
The old surf and turf.
My obtainable dream hunt though, I would love the opportunity to hunt early season mule deer in a spot that's just like the 1980s again.
Not
You
the
know-
80s.
No,
No, like
No,
90s, early
60s.
No, 90s were
I
good.
was just reading
90s were good.
tough, man.
The 90s were good.
the
though.
early 80s. I was
Maybe
reading.
the
I'm reading
end.
Dwight Schue's hunting open country mule deer. They're just talking about just those books. They go back to these basins and they're like, yeah, we saw 25 bucks up here today, and all of them over 26 inches. And you're just like, where? Like you're trying to read this and learn. I'm like, I can't find these spots anymore.
Lorenzo, you seen that video that they did like in the probably would have been the 60s bucks? The guy's like bucks. It's
Absolutely.
on the Beaver Mountain.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's just giant deer everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Everyone was shooting 30 inches,
Yeah.
and they're like passing just
Yeah.
absolute giants.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
cares as long as it's not 30 inches, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I like that.
What about you, Trail? What's your dream hunt?
I mean, archery elk September. That's it.
That's it.
No, I do love that though. Man, dream hunt. What would I say? Probably archery bison.
Yeah.
I think that's the
That's
one I
good.
want to do.
That's
Like Henry
yeah.
Mountains, archery
Yeah, I want to
bison.
do like free range, like
Yeah.
Henry's, Book Cliffs, draw tag and
That's
go out
cool.
and archery.
The
hunt
American
bison.
heritage of
Yeah,
hunting.
because I just think they're such a cool animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
that-
the heritage of hunting.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
I think for me, and I'm applying. I don't know if I'll ever draw. I might be 80 or 100. Hopefully, make it by then. But yeah, I think that'd be an archery bison.
That'd be really
That'd
cool.
be pretty
Just a
sweet.
cool animal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Anything else for us, Brady?
I just want to know, like, are you guys gonna be swapping this year, or is you gonna trying to do another out-of-state hunt and Lindsey gonna go, or just try to build points for a little bit, or strategize it?
I'd like to hit Montana really hard and kind of adjust to this new life a little bit. I think back to last year, there was a lot of times I could have gone out solo that I didn't. So I'd like to push myself on that a little bit. And if we end up finding a really good unit in a out of state that we can draw, I would like to. But I just really like to find some really good critters in Montana that I'm proud of, that whether we're together or not, that I put some days out alone too. Made the best of the time.
Yeah, I'd like to alternate this year if we can, and Lindsay's got some points in some states, and try to find a hunt that would really fit what she'd want to do. I thought it would be, we were just trying to shoot for a 4-season Colorado rifle, but now she's been on a kick of wanting to do more bow hunting herself again. So now she really wants to kill a buck in velvet. So maybe trying to transition to find a hunt we could do that on.
Cool.
Kind of helps with Montana. Doesn't open until September 7th this year for
Yeah.
archery. So give us some time to maybe hunt something early on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Velvet bucks.
all the
I heard,
bucks.
I heard bucks, not bulls.
I think that was probably the best
Yeah.
answer earlier when you were like, why go out of state when you have it in Montana? Because 2 bucks are better than 1.
Dang, we should just wrap that up right there. $2 are better than
We
one.
can call that a wrap.
And you're making it work on 5 days of
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys did the dream hunt this year. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We've been getting lucky.
Appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
having us,
appreciate you guys
guys.
having
Really
us.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for putting up with me at my house.
Hey,
Thanks for
having
giving
us.
us a house.
Yeah. And a truck.
Yeah.
I did give him my
Just
truck
take
too,
care of
Joe.
us.
Look at you as a host.
I know.
I got Nate staying at my house too, so I'm staying on the couch.
You sleep on the couch anyway. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
Exactly
That's
what
your
he
go-to.
said.
That's what-
Don't
Right.
act like
He
you're giving,
texts
you're giving
me.
up
He's like,
something.
I don't want to hear it. He's like, but I'm sleeping on my couch, and you guys come. You guys have the master bedroom because Nate's there. And I was like, I stayed at your house last year, and all you did was sleep on the couch then too. So I'm not really too worried about it.
exactly.
Every time I've been to your house, you sleep on the couch.
I'm a
So
simple man.
don't act like you're giving up anything.
Yeah.
That's just where you sleep.
It's true. Just move my bedroom down there.
Well, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for having
thank you
us.
guys. Thanks, Mom.
Appreciate it.